Sheaths for nipple horns. Is that it?
It's Magnus. We're just taking the piss out of the song.
What? Join, you shall leave, you shall moved.
Yeah, he is his high Magni Magnatism.
Right.
You've not met Magnus yet.
Again,
I'm sure he's a fine fellow.
We should talk to him with his proper title.
I reckon he'll either love or hate Nick, or rather Nazeem.
Competition.
I was going to do a mid-journey render of the Spook Bowl, I forgot.
Young Nicholas, did you seriously refer to Magnus as competition? Are you now admitting that you're in a race to the bottom of how much hubris you can do?
The Council of Nike is going to be great.
Just in terms of power, not in terms of where I sit on allegiance ladder.
You realise Magnus sided...
I forget.
You realise that Magnus sided with the Loyalists, right, Nicholas? As much as he could, and fucked it up so hard that he was basically forced into chaos, right up until the last moment where he was given an option for redemption, and then decided no.
Well, I'll decide yes this time.
It does seem very Nick.
It does seem very Nick, doesn't it?
Even the whole webwave thing.
His final fall is literally a young Nicholas moment of going, here is the objectively right choice to make. And he goes, but that would make me not right, and therefore I'm not going to take the choice.
He uses some truly young Nicholas-esque logic. I'm actually really grateful we've got you playing the Psycho, young Nicholas. I don't think there's anyone even vaguely more fit for it. I'm sure other people would make lovely Psychos. I don't think they'd be quite as classic.
This is what Nick has been preparing 8 years for.
It's true.
Well, no, it's good because everyone at some point in their career, everyone in some point of their time with Warhammer thinks to themselves, can't believe that anyone could fall the way that Magnus does. It just, something about it just doesn't quite make sense. And then we meet young Nicholas, and suddenly we go, oh my god, it all makes sense now. I was so wrong.
Anyone siding with Chaos in 40k doesn't make sense until you play with anyone who's ever played a Psyker. And then you realise that when you have magic powers, everything starts to look like a problem that can and indeed should be solved with magic powers, no matter how bad an idea that might be.
Now, just because the next army I'm thinking of collecting is Nurgle does not mean anything, okay?
Does it not?
Nurgle's the happy one.
Grandpa... is it Grandad? Yes, Grandad Nurgle is fucking amazing.
Grandpappy Nurgle.
Grandpappy Nurgle. He's fucking... I love him. Nurglings. Nurglings are the cutest things.
What?
Nazeem 2022.
Oh, fuck, I'm trying to remember the
Nurgle is the worst Chaos God because he is the gaslighting dick.
I mean, well, he sets his gas alight.
I mean, none of them are positive, but all of them have positive aspects.
But
you said aspects as, like, I scrolled past a gif of someone moving their butt real nice, and it timed up perfectly you saying the word aspects.
What gifs are you looking at?
This is the gif in the Wednesday's chat.
Ewan, obviously. Why would you even need to ask that?
It's in the Wednesday's chat.
Let's see.
That doesn't make it not porn. That makes it more likely to be porn if it's in the Wednesday chat.
That's true. The Wednesday group is relentlessly horny.
Oh, Ewan, just so you know, I've updated my psychic powers, so I've switched a few out.
Terrifying words.
Cool, no, that's good. That's good. Now tell me, young Nicholas, and tell me honestly, have you bought telepathy?
I haven't.
Now, that's okay. But I swear to God, if you try to use telepathy after we loosened the restrictions so that you could just buy it if you wanted it, I am putting my foot down.
I mean, I think the more interesting question is, will he try and probe Magnus with his mind? Or has he finally learnt his lesson?
Well, there is a spell, or there's a power called Mind Probe.
Yes, there is. Do you remember what happened last time you tried to Mind Probe a Primarch with your magic powers? How you nearly had a stroke?
I didn't try to mind probe. I tried to comfort him.
Now, remember, Nick, that the reason it went bad wasn't anything to do with your rules or the roles. It's because they're primarchs and they have bullshit fuck you powers.
Yes, and I suffered, father. I suffered for him, and now we have a close bond.
Right.
More like a tiny shred of your soul, well, probably actually a decently sized chunk of your soul, is lodged within the, skin cracks of his.
Worth it.
But you do understand that this means it's a bad idea to try and use powers on Primarchs, right?
I'm not convinced he does.
Well...
All right.
There are drawbacks, don't get me wrong.
Did you guys know that we actually have an official title in the UK of Hormone Replacement Therapy Czar?
Czar?
We have Czars for everything.
Yeah, Czars are pretty
common. Never heard of the Czar for hormone replacement therapy.
It's a thing we've been doing since the 70s. Is they just use Czar to mean official person, what is in charge of looking into this big nebulous thing.
It's just...
I want to be a Czar.
I've just never heard of it before.
Have you ever heard of the term Quango?
Vaguely, yes. I don't know why it's ringing a bell.
Czars are often
a quagmire or something like that. I don't know.
Czars are often in charge of Quangos.
You know what? I am going to put... Oh, I can't. I don't have... how many... I think I've maxed out on the amount of psychic power. No, we talked about this. I can have...
I just said, I'm not fussed about limits on the number of psychic powers you're going to have here, Nicholas. You get the same bullshit access we're just giving everyone to most things.
Okay, so it comes from quasi-MGO. Okay, that makes sense.
I am buying long-range telepathy because I have the XP for it.
Or indeed any telepathy. But, good. Long range is fine. I just wanted you to get any telepathy.
Yes. I can also get short range ones. Just long range has a longer range, apparently. And you also can't trigger... Yeah, I know. Literally, it's the dumbest thing. The long range ability just says this functions the same as short range telepathy, but with an extended range. In addition... once you learn it, with it and short range, you can no longer trigger psychic phenomenon unless you push.
Oh, so it's like a weird combo
and you can sustain it for free.
What's the name of it again?
Long range telepathy. And it's only 750 XP.
It's actually quite a lot of XP.
That's really cheap. That's really good for psychic powers.
Yes, it is. That's why I've been pushing you to take telepathy, but you keep trying to use telepathy on things. It's like leading a cat that wants to go where you want to go, but it is still a cat.
You've taken the cat to the back door and pointed outside after it's claimed that it wants to be outside.
So, no, Father. That would be a mistake.
Let's have some reminders from last session, which we're going to be real vague because it's been several weeks, lots of dramatic things have happened. I'm in a completely new setup, and these headphones are not great, so I'm hearing my own echo quite a bit. Though I've checked the recording and it sounds pretty okay.
All we need to remember is that Ollie vomited on his own shoes.
Well, we'll see if that was included in the reminders, because they were pretty sparse. Don't piss off Mortarion further. Goop was trapped and betrayed by Nazeem.
Oh, Christ, I forgot.
I didn't.
Figure out how to figure out how to mediate Morty Magnus. Have comfort talks with Primarch. Not sure who that was from.
That was me.
And then, young Nicholas, you also wanted me to look into some stuff with your assorted manuals and grimoires. I've not done that, I'm afraid, mostly because it's
understandable. It's
plain and moving house and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to have to keep playing that by ear for this session. I've got convention thing on this weekend, so we'll see how much I'm able to catch up enough to get it.
Yeah. But I, until you send specific things over, I'm unlikely to bring it up. So I'll just kind of leave it with you. So I'll probably just drift into the ether for now.
Fair. Okay. Right. So I think we ended. Did we end in the room with Mortarion? We did.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mortarion, who I listened to goddamn Flight of the Eisenstein for the first time. Just after
Dumbledore.
Yeah, just after that session where I characterized him as evil Snape, and he's voice acted like evil Dumbledore. So we're going to have a very mild personality revision to Mortarion. because he was.
I mean, Snape does fit in better because he is a fucking incel.
No, I'm gonna need it for Pertabo, basically. Perturabo, rather.
I mean, they're both weirdo incels.
Yeah, but one is evil. One is. I was going to say incel Snape. That's just Snape. One is evil Snape, and the other is racist Dumbledore.
I never got Dumbledore from. I just get creepy weirdo incel from both of them.
He's voice acted like he's racist Dumbledore. And I liked it as a portrayal, because you also kind of see where his charisma shines through and why anyone...
Okay, we are tangenting already, so let's go.
So, I believe you just vomited all over your shoes, Mackie.
What about that?
Yeah, so... I'm, let's stand up, wipe my mouth, and, politely ignore the fact I just threw up in my shoes.
Yeah, I'll take a...
Did any of us get that on footage?
No.
My eyes can't record.
Not actually. Seb was kicked out of the room. And
I remember Seb wasn't in the room and my eyes can't record. Is that a no then?
That is a no.
Fuck, I definitely would have circulated that.
I will take a willpower test, please, Ollie, at a -20.
Didn't you already take a willpower test?
I've already taken the willpower test.
Yeah, this is to do this with composure. He took a willpower test. That was a fear test, which is willpower.
Yeah. So I took
this isn't you anymore. This is you doing this and able to sort of hold your shit together, basically.
Okay. 10 or under them. Can I spend a fate?
You certainly can.
Yeah, I make it.
Jammy re-rolling fuck. Yeah, well, credit where it's due. You politely wipe your mouth and raise your head to not quite meet Mortarion's gaze, but humbly sort of break from it. So your chin is up, your posture is good, but you're not making eye contact with him. You're clearly de-escalating and showing submission to the foreign primarch, whilst also still holding whatever of your dignity you can. Mortarion slinks backwards, entirely too swiftly for someone so tall. I think perhaps we should confer in private, he says to your Primarch, who, after a half second's worth of beat, realizes that he was the one being talked to.
Yes, my lord, he does in fact mean you.
Don't address him so casually.
Yeah, I think that was.
I called him my lord!
Yeah, but then you just spoke casual to him.
Yeah, I assume that was out of character, wasn't it?
No, that was in character. That was couched in a single statement, calling him my lord.
Perturabo's eyes slant. Oh, God damn it, Mortarion.
Perturabo's here.
Perturabian slants his incelly Hogwarts-looking eyes. Morturbio. This is some fucking Dragon Ball Z bullshit right here.
Oh god, no, well, that's lazy.
Might be
What was that, Benji?
I was about to say, it might be a good thing. If you fuse them and then split them apart, maybe you'd get one decent person and one mega prick you could just kill.
You'd get one tall, slightly polite gentleman with bad taste in wine who enjoys building things, and one, stubby giga prick.
And we're in the business of killing Primarchs, so, we'll be the right group for the job.
Oh, we've never technically killed one.
Yeah, technically.
Never no takes backsies killed one.
I also think the speak when spoken to rule applies here.
Yeah.
Benji, I hope you don't have to take a fear test, but I kind of actually have to at the same time.
I think you'll find I've got bonuses to fear.
It didn't really help Ollie much.
Even against
I've got plenty of bonuses to fear, though.
Anywho, Perturabo shoots a sideways glance at Coatlmox, who has popped back in with a not Coatlmox, what am I talking about? At Coayah. And fuck this robot man in particular. No.
And the psych is being nice and quiet in the corner.
Didn't you already try to probe him and you kind of got...
No,
I'm being super polite, not touching any powers at all. I am being on best behaviour.
You are remembering that he noticed the odd pattern in the dust motes behind Mortarion when he got angry, which has clued Kuzco. Bloody hell, I forgot everyone's names.
Nazeem,
Nazeem.
I'm not even there.
Yeah, that's true. Clued Nazeem, Cloud Killer, in that Mortarion is more than likely a quite powerful, self-repressed psychic. So, Mortarion shoots you a sideways glance, Coayah. Do we want to make Coayah take a fear test? Let's give you a little fear test.
I want him to take a fear test. Only because I want to.
You're only getting a little one, though. This is you're getting a sideways glance of shut the fuck up. As opposed
making a personal note to get some sort of recording device.
Does my Malcador given anti... I'm not afraid of you thing work here? It's just a plus 10. You gave me a talent that gives me additional plus 10 to resist fear from psychic powers? I can't recall.
I don't see it on your sheet. I vaguely remember it.
It's there somewhere. Yeah.
Where am I looking, Benji?
This is what I'm just checking. Second.
It's definitely in relation to Primarchs, because...
Resistance, Primarch fear. Oh, yeah, no, it's not Malcador given. This is from your own Primarch and the beating thereof. Though you did admittedly also talk back to Malcador that one time.
Maybe I just bought Resistance Fear after I taught Malcador. Maybe. Would that count?
Yeah, we'll give you your Resistance Fear. You're not getting the full blast that Mackie got, I'm afraid, because Mackie, admittedly inadvertently, both disrespected Mortarion and triggered his childhood trauma, which Mackie was not necessarily to know. So it'll be a minus 10 for you.
Okay.
But you are not immune to taking more fear tests in Mortarion.
I'm not saying I'm not immune to taking
no, I'm laying that out now so you're aware. Consider this a warning shot fear test.
Okay. Went over the bows, so to say.
Exactly. A quick shot of piss over the bows. Fuck you,
Mortarion!
God damn it!
Eat shit, Primarch fear!
Where was that one when I needed it?
Okay.
You see, Ollie, only I can shit talk Primarch.
Is a 1. I think it's very... I just level up your resistance Primarchs.
Oh no! He side eyes you and you're just just blank plain face, just yeah, what?
No sells it.
Something about it.
Yeah, Coayah has a very specific attitude to Primarchs. Though he knows intellectually he should respect them, and to an extent, he does. He has been disappointed with those that he's met personally. And he has seen them bested, time and again. They may be fearsome, but they are not immortal. And as with everything else in the universe, they are most certainly not gods.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yes.
And Coayah has seen them bleed.
We all have. I've removed one's heart.
Yeah, we didn't really... you didn't quite have the same reaction to it that Coayah had, though. You sort of passively accepted of, oh god, I've done an awful thing, and I will probably die, and I probably should. And, fair enough, that was a good direction to take the character. Coayah, I think, had more illusions about the importance of Primarchs initially, and then, as with many things, has had his illusions torn away from him slowly, bit by bit, over the course of years and years, and replaced with a deep internalized loathing. You can't.
I missed that one.
You can't fear what you despise.
Look at Morty, you big nerd.
He's gonna found the fucking Malaeus, oh my god. Okay. Coayah responds not at all to Mortarion's glance, but your Primarch does. Moving with alacrity, coming to something like attention. He moves towards Mortarion and places a hand around his... Oh, Carl, did you make that yourself?
No.
Oh.
AI.
Oh, using the AI thing. Oh, that's cool. I love those AI things. They're ridiculous and scary, but good.
Oh, that's brilliant.
You know, we can use these, DALL-E 2 actually to probably create a fair amount of good shit.
Yeah, I could change that to pink and it would be perfect.
It's honestly more the colour I've been picturing.
Yeah,
I had the old school Ghostbusters goop kind of colour. The purpley pink.
Let's see.
It was more chaosy.
What do you mean chaosy? So, your Primarch steps towards Mortarion, places an arm around his shoulder, and begins trying to lead him away from the tactical display, whispering into his ear and gesturing at the rest of you to take Mackie away and clean him up.
No, need to be taken away and cleaned up. I can clean myself.
I take Mackie away and clean him up.
No, God damn it, you do not.
Say, brother, please.
Let's leave quietly.
For now.
Come.
I clean myself up.
Thank you, my lords.
Bow, and I gestured to Coatlmox to help me, just Armstrong marched.
Yeah, we both bow, then turn around and take an arm each and march.
Just marching him backwards.
You are not strong-arming me. I will turn around and I will walk out of the room under my own goddamn power.
After it becomes clear that the rest of the command crew were going to bodily haul you out. Presumably muttering under their breath, he's not worth it, bro.
Hold me back.
The four of you reconvene in the corridor outside. Bulkhead after bulkhead slamming shut behind you, locking the two Primarchs into conversation.
You two have a death wish?
Fine, death wish. That one was out of character. That was silly.
I think with his plan, well, I don't think I'm the one with the death wish.
Thank God we got out of that alive, brothers.
Yes, it could have gone worse, I think.
Yes. Only two of us could have walked out of there.
I somewhat suspect none of us would have walked out of there if it had gone worse.
Okay.
Was it made obvious that they want us to stick around, or do they want us to just... Are we going to reconvene the ship?
You've been more or less dismissed.
You've
been dismissed because Mortarion's throwing a tiff.
Okay, so reconvene at the ship then.
So yeah, you can. We can time skip.
Really believe the Primarch unattended. Got to wait and shuttle him back.
It's a good shout, actually. One of us should at least stay behind.
We can time skip until the Primarch.
Yeah, we'll time skip.
Are we guaranteed he's going to end up back on the ship? He's not going to scarf her.
I'll stay behind to look after him.
I think he likes you very much.
We can good cop, bad cop.
If you want. I was also going to go and find some Death Guard to challenge them to some duels.
No, we
did
that.
My magnificent one, huh?
Yeah, we did that last session, I'm afraid.
I mean, let's just time skip.
Yeah.
So, you return to the shuttle. You return to the Firebird in the landing bay of the Perseverance. Not to be confused with Perturabio. A couple of hours go by before your Primarch returns to you. He looks utterly bored. The colour drained from his face, his eyes all but exhausted from long, rambling discussions of strategy and tactics as he steps aboard the craft.
My lord, you look exhausted.
He waits to respond until the door seals shut behind him, locking you in the craft. Sorry?
Was Mortarion showing him his Magic the Gathering collection?
He was actually showing this little website called 4chan.
Oh god, he would be on that fucking free.
Yeah, if any of the Primarchs is on /poll, it's Mortarion.
Poltarion, more like. Wait.
No, let's not do that. He opens his mouth for a moment and no sound comes out. Then he tries again. I didn't realize it was possible for one man to speak for so long. He walks over to one of the booster seats lining the walls of the Firebird and just haunches down in it.
Wouldn't we have made a personal seat for him? He is Giga Chad.
Oh yeah, he's got one.
I don't think he fits.
No, he's making the best of it, and it is buckling.
1 ton of pure chat.
Just can't bring myself to care about any of the things he talked about. Brother? He stares out through hands traced down his face, looking out amidst splayed fingers. If that man is my brother, then I am loath to think what the rest of my family's like.
Father, if I may impart some form of wisdom from my own experiences.
Oh, I just love that, some form of wisdom.
Of course.
But you are our father, and I have my brothers. Brothers are not the same as one another. We all have our own flaws and strengths, personal preferences. Neither one of them is the same as the other. We all strive the same glory for the Imperium. It's Imperium right now, right?
Yes.
Got that right?
Yes.
And we all serve the Emperor, and of course yourself in turn. Do not let this one encounter with your first brother sully your possible future encounters with your other brothers. I'm sure they will have...
Because they can't deny.
And you may see that still you may have a more eye-to-eye relationship with a different one.
He seems to brighten up a little at that. You know, you're right. Our differences make us strong. Perhaps Mortarion is not quite to my taste, but he clearly means well, and he did take a lot of time out of his day. Maybe Magnus will be more accommodating.
Do we know much about Magnus at this point?
We don't know much about any of them.
No.
We know that they exist. We know their names. Other than that, we are not really privy to their idiosyncrasies or their personalities, really.
Yeah, I personally know that Magnus is now a repressed psyker, though. So Mortarion.
Magnus is very open. If anything, the exact opposite of a repressed psyker. Never has there been a less repressed psyker than Magnus.
He's a flaming psyker.
Is he going to be red at this point? I hope he's red.
He's always red.
He is red, but he's not like scarlet red. He's got like a coppery skin.
Okay.
I think in some of the books he has like the Emperor's Mima-vision going on a little bit. So initially he has the coppery skin, but then depending on who you are, you may see him slightly differently.
Also his eye, depending on who you are, you see his eye differently.
As a brother, do you think you'd be up for seeing another of your brothers today? After all, we did make it we did ask to see. We did ask to see. Fuck, I've already forgotten his name.
Lord Magnus.
we've already asked to see Lord Magnus. In fact, I'm going to ask if we ever got an astropathic reply back from Magnus' ship.
I don't think you did.
Send them a quick hail.
Yeah.
Mission to board.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll ask if the Primarch's ready to go, or we'll time skip until he is ready to go, I suppose, and send a quick communique asking if it's alright if we come aboard with our Primarch.
Your Primarch sort of nods gently. Yes, I just need a moment. Perhaps something to drink.
I can drink to that.
You have anything on the firebird? Other than the fuel?
No.
I mean, to be fair,
Bring
it is
me
the
some
personal
of the
ride.
fuel.
It is.
Very well, Father. I could get him some fuel.
That's what they call the AMSEC, right? Right?
He is a Primarch.
He returns with a plain, unadorned mug filled with a thick, viscous jelly.
No,
Here you go, Father.
No.
The Primarch pauses as Coayah insists.
Is it like a misbehaving puppy that we need to fucking train or something?
Well, he's about to drink promethium, so apparently fucking yes.
It was fine.
I kind of feel like
Oh my
if
god!
anyone can drink napalm and survive, it will probably be a Primarch. In fact,
The answer is no.
It might give him a sore throat, though, for our meeting with Magnus. So maybe
And it might fucking kill him.
Unlikely to
It's
kill
not
him.
going to kill him.
I say let him.
We must have some wine on the ship, right, brothers?
My lord, I will have Amasek brought to you when we reach the... It will be a short night.
He retches. Lech, Amasek. I will retire to my chambers briefly and will rejoin and go to see Magnus in an hour or two. Someone tell him.
I shall tell him. I shall send a communique.
With that, the Firebird, which is at this point taken off and started heading back towards the Price of Defiance, lapses into a relatively awkward silence. Coayah staring daggers at the Primarch, everyone else staring daggers at Coayah.
Daggers at the idiot who thought it would be a good idea to give the goddamn Primarch promethium!
It'll be fine. I'm sure.
Oh, I'll just feed you a fucking Phosphex bomb when we get back on the ship. See how you like it.
I'm not a Primarch. I like the thought that this is actually happening in character. Can this happen in character?
This
I feel like it's nice.
More or less with just your eyes.
That's how I was saying it. It is all intensely fierce eye contact with some eyebrow contextual wiggling giving there.
It's the thing, like, you know, like with your siblings, you know them so well, you can start to communicate without words. It's that level of
finishing each other's sandwiches.
yeah. It's like you can almost mumble and completely understand, have a full conversation.
Yeah, I had a full-on conversation for a few minutes with my brother, and we only ever said single words. Like, as in just, like, yeah, one word each time sort of thing.
I was about to say, what, one after another?
Like, response to...
When you return to the ship, what's Kuzco been up to whilst they've been off seeing the legendary Death Guard?
Not really anything. Like, meditating, brewing, like, just doing my job.
Sat in the medical wing with a glass of fine boat fuel, apparently.
Not our Legion trait. We are not drinking fucking promethium. We are
Just
not
a
the Death
little
Guard.
bit in the answer. Just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I was going with the stuff I was making that originated as Primarch drank, but heavily watered down to effectively just be like the equivalent of a whiskey or Space
Are we
Marine.
going to be like the only Space Marines that have actual booze and like end up getting drunk?
No,
Well, we
I
killed
the
I
Space Wolves.
always hated that for the Space Wolves. We're not doing that. You can drink it, but you're not going to get drunk off of it.
Okay, how about like stoned?
Yeah, say hi.
That was to young Nicholas, not to you, Carl. You are using like weapons grade tranquilizer on yourself. You can get high. You are a medical expert abusing substances, experimental substances that you designed and field researched. That's fine.
Also designed to work on things a lot stronger. You're basically taking elephant tranquilizers. Neat. Well, not quite.
Yeah, no, he's warning.
Rhino kit.
That's like humans don't.
Do they have whale tranquilizers? I suppose they don't, do they?
No, because there's no need to tranquilize a fucking whale.
No, there probably is. How do you tranquilize?
SeaWorld probably will be fairly often.
Yeah, that sounds.
Are you googling how to tranquilize a whale?
Yeah.
It sounded. Yeah.
Or the dose of elephant tranquilizer.
Oh,
The idea of preventing whales traces back to 1999. Apparently,
Quite recently, really.
seems like an oddly late time.
2 drops of whale tranquilizer is enough to kill a person, according to a blog I just found.
But we have whale tranquilizers?
Yeah, apparently
One
we
drop's
have.
okay. One drop's okay. You could have a drop.
Oh, that's not the lesson you take from this.
So there you go.
Lesson young Nicholas takes from this.
Okay, so whilst you've all been off on your interstellar diplomatic snafu, Kuzco has been abusing the weapons-grade tranquilizer.
It's just the difference between you see a door close, I see a door open.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
You have enough time. Oh, sorry, cut.
I was gonna say, I've in not just abusing. I mean, yes, abusing it, but also aiding in meditation and contemplation.
Is that what you call going into the whale hole?
This is the best sentence I think I've read all day. Brainstorming session followed. Pax Arms, a New Zealand-based company with experience taking tissue samples from whales and remotely drugging sheep. Deep built the team an air gun capable of hurling a 2-foot dart at a whale. That's just
The phrase "remotely drugging sheep" does. I picture like a countryside hedge. Someone pops up with a blowgun and just and then pops back down again.
Imagine someone just there like a button and suddenly 40 sheep drop to the floor.
Let's call pace.
I have a quick thing to try and do on the ship if we have enough time.
Yes,
head up. I head up to our Mechanicum lady, whose name I should remember.
Laura Viveldin.
Viveldin. Bit of a rush. I missed something that would have been great to record at the last Primarch meeting. How quickly could you get a hidden recording device installed in one of my eyes or on my person?
She opens a desk drawer and pulls out a drill. How quickly do you need it?
Hour, maybe 2? Aim for an hour.
Buzzing sounds from outside the door. Sure, you can add 1 poor quality pectoral nipple cam. Well, that wouldn't be a nipple cam. Pectoral stealth cam.
I want to be stealth if it was in his pecs.
Because it looks like one of the assorted armor plugs, so it's camouflaged in amongst them.
Then it wouldn't work in the heat of battle. I suppose we've got.
It's not supposed to work in the heat of battle. It's supposed to work on his
I'd have armor on in the heat of battle.
Yeah, exactly. But you were just getting this so that you could spy on Magnus's meeting, right?
Yeah, I mean, only if on our guys if something embarrassing is happening. That would be my intention.
Yeah, exactly. As I understood it, that was what you were going for.
Yeah.
And you weren't allowed to wear armor at the last one anyway.
Yeah. I'll be in my robes.
Yeah.
I'll bring my chainsword again.
So it's your diplomacy spy cam.
Yeah.
I think I like to think of it as doing it. Not. It's the you've been framed, but in the 31st millennium.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it pops out a cassette. Like a VHS.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
It's the worst poor quality org. But I mean, I guess how are people gonna find it? So from one point of view,
The only point of view his nipple has.
God damn it! After a couple of hours on the ship, your Primarch, looking somewhat refreshed from a small sojourn in his private chambers, summons the rest of you back to the deck with a view to flying the Firebird over. As before, he insists on no armour, only your ceremonial weapons and your finest robes.
I'll comply.
Nipple cam.
I'll be in my robes with chainsaws.
You know, like a little hole cut out where the nipple cam is.
So I awkwardly pull it to the side if something interesting happens.
Just don't mind me, guys. Pulling out the old nip cam.
Just flashing a Primarch.
It's not the worst thing we've done today, to be fair.
Your shirts.
And,
what are you doing, step brother battle?
No, absolutely not. Such things will summon Wednesday group.
And, as before, the two members who are commanded to come are Nazeem and Coatlmox, Father's emotional support Marines.
I take a single step back.
Everyone else is optional.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
going.
come along.
Kuzco has not left the Medicaid blister, the revised Medicaid blister. Kuzco is just gently experimenting with exactly how much weapons-grade trank is a lethal dose.
Grade, I will point out, banned by Imperial decree.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that's true.
But not in this form, right? He's remade it into a different liqueur.
Yeah. Like,
You know, we can actually see how good it is on the captured kaiju we have in the hold. You know,
Oh, we do still have that. giant
That's a good
octopus
shout.
thing,
Just
right?
don't kill it. It's like...
I'll just relabel it and it'll be fine. It's kaiju.
You know how good it is. Why would you test it on your expensive kaiju? And
Wait,
also, like, what is the purpose?
Oh, I don't know. Just more whale tranking. It kind of
You
sounds
should look into, like, spawn it, like, ways to clone that kaiju, actually.
Armies of
Ooh.
kaiju, riding them into battle.
Doesn't it like barely fit in its tank? Did we extend its tank? Or is it still just trapped in that bit of like a ship?
It is
further inside more ships.
It is extended, but it used to live on an ocean planet, and now it lives inside your massive ship, which is comparatively not really that massive.
It's been real pissed.
It's like a goldfish in a tiny bowl.
You are the giant flying interstellar SeaWorld of your day.
I think I rolled a 1 right on either the capture or the creation of the enclosure. So we do have the best, enclosure for 50.
It's the only one. It's always going to be the best.
But even when another one comes along, it'll still be the best.
He's not wrong. There's not a huge amount of competition for like, even by Rogue Trader standards, this is my kaiju pen.
I wouldn't be surprised if Emperor's Children at least had aquariums, but probably not.
Yeah, but there is a difference between an aquarium and this is where my sea-leviathan lives.
The only difference is size.
We need to make it a part of the ship tour from now on.
We have, what are they called? Biologists?
Biologists.
Yeah, presumably we have several of those on board.
Quite a few, yes.
We also have Kuzco, who has experience in dealing with life forms. I don't know if he's necessarily anything of an anatomist, but,
He's an apothecary.
He's a doctor, so yes.
Yeah, but
he's literally operated on you. Where are you going with this, Ollie?
It's more the amount of confidence I have in the person who also has turned the Medicaid blister into a still. Like, it's...
To be fair to Carl, he is business first, pleasure second. Pleasure is just also on the list.
But I'm going to ask Carl and the Madras adjutant to see if we can go about maybe creating some smaller clones of the kaiju we have.
That's not a bad shout.
No, but I just remembered that I've got those mind control devices as well.
Because I'm thinking rideable octopi into battle.
Mind control.
They need water.
They do need water.
Like we can't manipulate genes, matey. Make them amphibious.
We have pretty good gene control. We have pretty good
I'm sorry.
Like there's
your plan is to start messing around with the genome of Xenos in order to turn them into mounts of war.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I hear the heresy knocking. I just can't hear anything
I
over.
think that might not be okay now. I think
it's funny because it's funny because I'm legionmaster.
I hate to. That is so weird hearing someone other than Benji use that line. I hate to say it because don't get me wrong, it is a really deeply dumb idea on several levels. But your Primarch does like octopuses. We did establish this.
Oh god.
I'm going to just ask them to start researching possible uses for clones of them, smaller clones.
Hello, yes, is that Corn? Yes, please, I'd like to defect.
How different is it to the space wolves? Like weird fucking wolves they find on their planet?
Or indeed, Fulgrim.
You mean the worst fucking thing imaginable?
Or indeed, Fulgrim giving his chief apothecary license to inject Xenos goop into his marines on the basis that
we're injecting Xenos.
No, this is a thing that happens.
Yeah, okay, so therefore I'm covered legally.
I am agreeing with you, Ollie. I am saying that your Primarch could give you legal sanction to do this. Benji is still right.
Done in another legion that did fall to chaos. So it's fine.
The Emperor's children did it, therefore we should do it. Is not a valid idea.
It's like the octopus has 8 legs and, there's an 8-pointed star. I'm just saying.
I really deeply hate how much the point can be made. Riveting discussions around octopus. Sorry, were you actually giving this as a command to Carl?
Yeah, this is for the Magnus Adjutant and for Carl to start researching potential.
You're asking the Magnus Adjutant to do it.
Well, not the Magnus Adjutant herself, but the Magnus biologist she has underneath her command.
Yeah, no, so you're putting the request through her also.
Yes, yeah, because and also I'd like Kuzco and his apothecaries to be involved in some way as well as any appropriate human staff.
Are you going to inform father of this?
Yes.
Really glad I bought this expensive whiskey because it's been a few weeks and my tolerance has gotten low, so I think I needed this.
If I hear of this order through gossip with the Majos, can I suggest we try to servitorize some of the clones as well?
You read my mind. I was going to request that anyway.
The Magnus is actually busy in what is listed, what her servants relay to you is some kind of emergency surgery during the brief hour or so that you're on board, I'm afraid, legionmaster, with a priority patient that cannot be interrupted.
That's fine. As long as it is attended to afterwards, I shall also talk to the Primarch about this.
The Primarch is in his chambers and insists on not being interrupted.
That's fine.
But you leave a message with the Magnus Adjutant's Undersecretary, and presumably one with whoever covers for Kuzco when he's stoned out of his mind.
the long-suffering left or right hand.
Yeah, who was your external affairs person?
Right hand was purely apothecary. Left hand was mainly consul and external affairs.
Okay, so left hand then, it sounds like. No, this is an apothecarian matter. So whichever of left hand or right hand gets the message first, basically. It's been just an hour or two when the 4 of you reconvene to head over to Magnus's flagship. The name of which I do not know. Okay, so his Gloriana was the Photeth, but I don't know what he had before that.
The Titanhorn.
We're not calling it the Titanhorn.
Tittyhorn?
Knowing him, it would be something like the Thoth or something.
The Zinch.
I'm trying to work out a good Zinch, not quite Zinch joke.
Is this going to call it the number 9?
The foreboding? No, what is it? The foreshadowing. The foreshadow.
The foreshadowing. I do, unironically, and I judge myself for this, I do like the foreshadow as a name.
It's quite a good name for a ship that would loom over a planet, right?
Right, it is a really, and it's hilarious giving it to Magnus as well.
Yeah. How about the glorious vanity?
I like the Foreshadow.
I like it on a number of levels.
Yeah, it really it works, and it works on the ego level as well. Of Magnus going, "Oh, I'm foreshadowing over people," and everyone else going, "Yes, Magnus, yes, you fucking are."
Cool motherfucker.
So, the four of you plus your Primarch, plus presumably
Seb.
Oh yeah, Seb as well. Don't forget him. God, what was his name?
I'm going to tell the Primarch about.
No, not Seb. I'm just double checking. Michelko driving the Firebird, because if you'll remember, the Firebird is driven by flown by Destroyer Cadre.
But he's head of Destroyer Cadre. Surely he's got people to do that sort of thing for him.
He does, but also, this is an important diplomatic mission.
I wonder if the entire time he's flying us, he's going there like, I could fly us into the side of the ship and no one could stop me.
Have any of the other ships we've bought so far commented on its unique design?
You've only boarded one of the ships so far.
Fair enough.
They probably just thought that it didn't have enough promethium or phosphex on it.
Yeah, if anything, I think they'd be quite positive on it.
Yeah? So you might get slightly more adopted elsewhere, maybe?
Probably not.
Stormbird, they're getting phased out.
Yeah, by this.
Not yet, but they will eventually. They're certainly getting a bit thin on the ground. They would be getting phased out if the Thunderhawk had been discovered yet. I am only just realising that they're not called Thunderbirds because, the cartoon The Puppet Show.
Yep.
And on the short-ish flight over to the Foreshadow, it sounded like your legionmaster wanted to say something to the Primarch, who is now sat in his actual seat.
Father, I have put into effect a new initiative, which should hopefully start soon.
Brother, you don't seem to have learned your lesson, do you?
What?
Yeah, from the other side of the Primarch, Coayah leans forward and just interrupts you flat out.
Yes, hasn't said anything yet.
Yes, do you not remember, 3 hours ago? Where you were scared witless by a Primarch for being overly familiar?
What? I'm talking about... I'm sorry, I am...
You were talking to the Primarch, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to your Primarch.
Primarch.
Yeah, and I was just trying to remind you, stop doing that. They don't like it.
He's my father, Primarch, and we've had multiple interactions with him.
We're not in front of Magnus yet, right?
No, you're not.
Yeah,
no.
We're not in front of Magnus. This is on the ship. If it's in front of Magnus, yes. So is that happening in character, or is that not happening in character?
I mean, it might be good practice for us to start treating our father with more respect.
Yeah, it's
I need to know whether this conversation's happening in character or not.
I was doing that totally in character.
Okay, yeah, because other people would taking it out of character, and if it's happening in character, your Primarch would have an opinion.
I would have used different words, but I would have said that in character.
So then we will rewind very slightly. Coayah has just leant forwards and interrupted Mackie as he's sat down next to the Primarch and just started talking to him about business things.
And I turn to Coayah and say, I was not speaking to you, brother. I was speaking to our Primarch.
Thank you, you called him brother.
I called you brother.
Brother is actually an acceptable term for your Primarch, for the record. It's...
Brother-father.
Yeah,
is this a Georgian relation?
No, he's your gene father, but at least in the books, because I've been binge listening to the Horus Heresy, they're constantly calling their Primarchs brother rather than father, and the Primarchs refer to them as brother or son, alternately, depending on whether they're trying to be authorial or not.
I thought I referred to the Primarch as Primarch anyway. I didn't think I said brother.
I thought you said brother. I thought that was the only thing you said. I was
think...
No, if anything else, you guys usually almost religiously say father, to the point that half the reason he doesn't have a name is because he's the Primarch to everyone outside the Legion on your ships, and to the Legion you say father.
In which case it sounds like there's a big misunderstanding.
I think you'll find I say my lord.
You don't say father. Everyone else does, which includes Ollie.
I've never said it.
Fair, I've not noticed that. But I guess you don't talk
angry man and the drug dealer.
In any case, then I assume because I just referred to him as by Primarch, you're not going to interrupt them from that.
No, we can wreck on that because I genuinely thought you just went, "Yo, bro," basically.
No.
Yo, bro, I got a sick business. No, we're not doing this. So, in that case, Mackie, you have sat down next to your Primarch. Coayah's on the other side, unhidden, seething over something or other. Carry on.
Primarch, I have initiated a new program which should hopefully start underway sometime in the near future. One I think which might pique your interest. You know the what do we refer to there as? The kaiju? Leviathan?
The guest thing?
The guest. You know, the guest we have below decks that we brought on, give you a little piece of home way back when.
I remember it, yes.
Are you thinking of starting a program? Something to potentially create smaller versions that we could utilize.
I don't think we have the water space for that. And to what end would it be?
I'm thinking useful battlements.
We have assault bikes.
Do we?
We've never used them.
Well, you absolutely use your assault bikes.
Just because we don't doesn't mean the Legion doesn't use them.
Yeah.
I'd say, I have yet to... this is only the very earliest preliminary stages.
We can put the miniaturized kaiju on the assault bikes.
I thought was to say, have you thought...
We are not creating the Gloctopus. This is not happening.
Pace. Ollie, continue to make your pitch to your Primarch.
Well, that's it.
Who is, for the record, locked deep in emotional thought about what it's going to be like to meet his next brother as you come at him with your, what have we made? Octopuses that we rode into battle.
It's just gonna kind of peter out there. I think it'll be like, we'll figure out uses, earlier stages. I just want to see what's useful about them.
It doesn't sound like a great use of resources, but what do you think? He gestures towards Nazeem, his pride and counsel.
Oh dear lord.
Technically, Nick, you came up with the idea a little bit as well, so...
Nick came up with the idea, Nazeem. Two different people, my friend.
Sorry, Nazeem, the consorter with goo, suddenly gets weird about creating octopuses on attack bikes.
I thought it was human.
Psyker octopuses on attack bikes.
Let's be fair here and point out that the goo outwitted him at every turn. I feel that the correct example to draw here would be the Xenos dinosaur brain situation, in which there were no failed rolls, just Nazeem and young Nicholas in perfect concert, slavering furiously. So Nazeem, your Primarch looks to you for your support.
Oh god. Well, Father, it is a mighty beast, and there's no denying it could be an asset in battle. As you point out, the space to actually house said smaller versions could be an issue. We do have assault bikes as well, so I'm not too sure about the mountable compatibility with the Legion.
Mountable. I never said mountable.
Right.
It's, for the record, actually worse if you're proposing you deploy the Xenos as autonomous auxiliaries in battle compared to mounts that you ride. Just not implying that. No, not at you, Nicholas. At Ollie, who was saying, "Well, I never said they'd be mountable." It's like, yes, you did. You were talking about octopus mounts earlier, but even if you hadn't, it's worse if they're not mounts.
I thought Nick meant mountable on bikes.
No, mountable as in you mount
as
them.
Mounts, yeah.
Yes. Okay, that
which was the thing.
Yeah.
That was the pitch you made.
So, yeah, no, there's no denying they are pretty powerful assets. I think some more thought definitely to go into how we would utilize them. It is a lot of resources, you said, Father. Although, and call Nick out if you think he metagame here, but knowing his brother as well as he does, Brother Coatlmox, there's no denying that we do not, we do servitorize Xenos, do we not? They could be useful organization targets.
I don't think we do, typically, do we?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
That was a one-time thing we did some Twi'leks.
You have...
You could do it with near humans.
Yeah, you have the technology to do it, you just don't. Remember, the Imperium of 30k is more, I guess, anti-Xenos and more strict about human template stuff than the Imperium of 40k. I
see. Okay, fair enough.
And that would be probably frowned on under most circumstances in the Imperium of 40k, way more so in 30k.
So I shall retract that then. Yes, definitely some research before we... My suggestion would be to do more research into their applicable uses before actually devoting resources to it, Father.
The Primarch nods. I agree with the chief psychologian. It's simply not something we should pour time and effort into without a clear use case. Not least due to the risk of sanction.
Absolutely, Father. That's why we're just trying to study potential uses. And then from there, we can just develop ideas from just our starting research. If there's nothing, there's nothing.
I feel like you should have a use before you move straight into the research, if I'm honest, but...
Well, the research is to research what uses they have. But I see where you're coming from.
His eyes glaze over from hours of discussion with Mortarion. And he waves a hand dismissively. Act as you see fit, Legion Master.
I shall, thank you.
The rest of the trip lapses into awkward silence until you arrive aboard the main hangar of the Foreshadow.
Pictures of Octopus with guns and bikes.
I try to distract Mackie as best I can, trying to take the load off of Father, seeing he's quite clearly deep in thought about other things.
Just going to silently be incredibly hard, ripping my Macuiltotec chainsaws, like, don't think about the heresy, don't think about the heresy.
Prescribed. None of you are free of sin.
I prefer the term prescribed and subscribed to heresy. We have a monthly subscription.
Arriving on the Foreshadow, the rear docking clamps detach, and the hatch slowly spools open. You can just vaguely hear Macuiltotec grumbling from the cockpit as the reddened interior of the Foreshadow's main hangar comes into view. On either side, 100,000 suns legionnaires, clad in their shimmering... It's red and blue, right?
No, it's red and gold. It's like candy red and gold.
Yeah, I remember the red.
It's red and gold. They've got some little bits of blue on them, but it's mostly ornamentation.
They've got
so weird.
Corn colours. Clad in their shimmering red and gold. They form a line on either side of your craft, and at their very end stands the form of Magnus the Red. A tall, copper-skinned man with a flowing scarlet mane. His presence seems to boom out of him, even though for the moment he's silent. Behind him and to the right is what appears to be his equerry, or some other senior commander, bearing a staff. The Marine is... sorry.
I was just going to say I'll bow once we're dismounted.
Mm-hmm. The Marine is comparatively unnotable compared to Magnus.
He's rather notable. You should look weird.
Ahriman?
Oh, no, that's Ammon. He's not Ahriman. His equerry's Ammon.
I did say presumed to be the...
oh, fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So that's my bad. I also haven't got to the Thousand Suns books yet. Yeah, okay, I'm going to exclude Ammon on the basis that I haven't really had him in the Heresy books yet, so I don't really know how to portray him, so it's...
fair.
It's his chief librarian. I don't think you'd recognise the symbols of it. Especially as no one in your organisation really wields a staff. Your Psyker unit seem to prefer swords. Magnus's face is set in a broad grin. His one remaining eye, the other one appearing to have been plucked out, almost seems to burn, shifting through a series of rainbow hues. He throws his arms up. My brother! And my esteemed comrades from the 2nd Legion. Welcome to the Foreshadow. Your Primarch, much more circumspect this time, steps out from the craft, each of you filing out behind him, and almost seems to slink along the lines, in fact, of serried Marines, noticing more Thousand Suns arrayed out on either side. You gently traipse forwards, fanning out and forming a line behind him as he walks up to Magnus, who, fairly enthusiastically, encloses him in a brotherly hug. At about this point, behind them, the Marine with the staff detaches his helmet, taking it off to reveal Actually, I'm not sure what Ahriman looks like with his helmet off. He doesn't have a beard, does he?
It's also Drit, isn't it? It's Drit, once again.
No. Oh god, I found some fan art, and it is the strangest thing.
No, if you're going near Vesmira,
No. The fan art, honest to God, this, like, we're not canonizing this, but I'm sharing it because of what it looks like. He looks like Buzz Lightyear.
I think I've just seen it, yeah, this is the one I just opened, I was like...
That's not how I picture Ahriman.
It really isn't,
Nothing
but equally...
else. He's Iranian.
I mean, that could be an Iranian face, just very highly stylized.
I guess that's true. I suppose it's the, like... It's the fact that it looks like Buzz Lightyear, and I think, like, oh, he's got that big
to be fair,
American
it's better than
farmer chin.
It's better than Amon, who is literally just Ben Kingsley.
Oh my god. You're not wrong.
Right?
Ben Kingsley's pretty cool, though.
No, he is pretty cool.
I'm revising. I like Ben Kingsley 40k. So Ahriman removes his helmet, steps forward and offers to shake the hand of the person closest to him, who is, thematically speaking, I mean, there's only one real choice, naturally Nazeem.
Oh, fuck.
It's where we find out Nazeem is just like...
This is going to go bad, lads. I can't say no. I respectfully shake the hand with gusto.
Azek Ahriman, Chief Librarian of the 2nd Legion. I'm after your job.
What? Fight to the death! I mean,
Do you really want to get into that?
No.
Chief Librarian of the 15th Legion.
Nazeem Cloudkill, Chief Psychologian of the Second Legion.
That's an interesting title you have there.
Yes.
His piercing grey eyes stare at you. You feel them seem to strip you down to your very soul. Have a senescience check, please.
Senescience, okay. I do, just for clarity, I do have resistant psychic powers.
Mm? You know what? You can have your resistant psychic powers as a bonus.
Oh, I do. Yeah, it's plus 10, isn't it? Senescience. Oh, which is a massive bonus, isn't it? Yeah. It's a plus 20. Senescience. And this is off perception?
Roll of your willpower, please.
Ooh.
What an odd noise.
Rolling at cap.
Alright.
Hondo. Oh.
Hundo would have been hilarious.
Would have.
Clasp Ahriman's hand and just burst into flames.
2 successos.
Nick did that.
2 successos indeed. You feel not as though someone's probing your psychic being, but certainly as though you're being watched. That sensation that Ahriman sees your soul is perhaps a tad more literal than you might have liked.
I'll raise my eyebrow. You can clearly see me.
Well, as you're very well aware, you can't just see people being a psyker, not unless they're so powerful and untrained that they're tacitly oozing psychicness, or that they're actively doing something psychic-y.
Okay.
Unless he has some peculiar talent.
So it could be... Well, we know the Thousand Suns, well, kind of...
you are very well aware that they openly are very keen on having the psychers in their legion.
Okay. So I know that. I know him. He's a librarian.
Chief Librarian? He has introduced himself as Chief Psyker of the Psyker Legion.
Yes, so I will raise an eyebrow as I see him staring at me.
Well, it's lovely to meet you. He moves his hand on towards Coatlmox, I guess.
Flash him a warm smile. Pleasure to meet you, brother.
Pleasure. And then onwards to... yeah, actually, you didn't introduce yourself there.
Oh, yeah. I'm the Magos Obsidia, Coatlmox Ical. Don't know why I did that
You're going
voice.
with your title?
Don't know why. Yes.
Well, Magos Obsidia is the name for our Forge Master.
Yeah, but his title's Coatlmox the Burn.
Well, it's not a... It's a nickname.
That's his cognomen.
That is his cognomen. You're not wrong, but it's not his job title.
My job is to sit here every day in agony, being just burnt.
Well, that does more or less wind up being Big E's job. Next up, Mackie.
Greetings, brother. I am the Legion Master of the Second.
He cocks his head. Legion Master, but you're... He gestures over to where the primarchs are talking, increasingly warmly.
Our primarch and our Legion, a slightly different structure than to most of his, but it is one that suits both of us as best as possible.
Ahriman nods. I understand. My own Legion operates the same way. Not identically, but we also have a structure that works well for us. And finally, his hand goes to Coayah. Dear conservative Coayah.
Greetings. I am Coayah, Knight Slayer, Knight Champion of the Second Legion.
Ahriman rears back just a little bit. Not in horror, but in very mild surprise. Yes, I've seen the vid. That's,
I'm slightly worried now. Which vid?
If you'll remember...
No. Yeah, but I also hope that we don't have... Because everyone was wearing their armour, and we shouldn't have footage of it, but I'm very worried that there might be footage of me beating up my own Primarch. I'm like, please don't know about that. You're not supposed to know about that.
That is super heavily censored.
We put on a communications blackout whilst it was going on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but people are going around installing nipples in their cameras in their nipples. You can't be too careful.
Why not both?
Open this camera's cartridge and all these nipples fell out.
Yeah, the 16 mega nipple camera.
God.
On the new Google nipple pic.
Oh no, my pixel. So. No, he's seen the video of you destroying the rogue knight aboard the Obsidian Heart all those years ago. Excellent fighting, I have to say. We sometimes show it to some of the recruits as an example of innovative tank busting.
I'm pleased that you think so highly of it. I shall have to meet some of your recruits. No doubt they're all as impressive as your guard arraigned here.
He nods. I should hope so.
What's the name of this guy again?
Ahriman.
Arzek Ahriman.
No problem. I'd like to lean over. Tell me out. I'd love to discuss the more finer intricacies of your Legion layout, if possible, at some point. We can swap notes. It'd be interesting.
A good deal of it is secret is the wrong term, but
guarded,
obfuscated, guarded. Certainly, I'd be happy to discuss what we can.
Yeah, I'd like that. Yes.
With that, he turns on his heels as the Primarchs turn to face you. Magnus booms at the lot of you.
Brothers of the...
Sorry?
I was going to say I would bow.
Stand, brothers of the Second Legion. I am so happy that you have come here to help us break this awful siege and retrieve what can potentially be of use to the Imperium, whilst destroying that which can't. Your Primarch and I have much to discuss. You are, of course, invited to the planning if you would like to. But if you would prefer to tour the ship and meet some of your brother Marines, you are more than welcome.
I'd like to look to Father to see if he's into getting a preference, if he'd like myself or anyone else to stay with him, or...
Father, he's mostly looking at Magnus. He looks like he's warming to Magnus significantly more than he warmed to Mortarion.
You mean the fact that Magnus called Mortarion a prick is basically his first sentence?
This will mean Primarch will probably be easily swayed to Magnus's plan, though.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the planning.
I'll go for a ship tour.
I'm interested in a ship tour, actually. I want to stay away from Magnus.
I mean, we can go on a ship tour, but it sounds like they're both happening at the same time, so I'm going to come to the planning.
Ship tour, then.
Okay. Coayah?
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Which one?
Which group?
The ship tour.
The ship tour, okay. Well, there were 3 people in both groups.
How could there be 3 people in both groups?
I said I'd like to go on one, but it sounds like they're both happening at the same time, so I'll go to the planning. 2
Primarchs and a Marine, and 3 Marines. Because the ship's tours, Ahriman, Coatlmox and Nazeem, and the planning is Magnus, Father, and...
Well, in which case I'll go to the planning then. I thought they were doing planning privately.
Yeah, that was the option, was Magnus was saying, hey, if you want to come to the planning, come to the planning.
Yeah, I'll go plan.
Okay. Right, which do we want to do first, then? Adventures with Ahriman or Adventures with Magnus?
You guys can do the ship tour first, I think.
We're getting on a high egg, are we?
Okay. As the other 4 peel off to go review Magnus's plans, Ahriman dismisses much of the honor guard and then turns to Nazeem and Coatlmox.
Well, It appears that I can't stop looking at Buzz Lightyear. Ahriman, I'm going to delete it. It's colouring my view of him.
Well, to be fair, I linked below that. I linked some helmet designs, which look awesome. I think that's what their helmet should look like.
That's clearly a Dark Angels helmet.
No, it's shaped like. Well, yeah, it does have Dark Angels things on the side.
It's clearly a Dark Angels helmet.
Shut up! I did not look at it very clearly. I was like, oh, that looks like kind of like a Ra helmet, like an Egyptian bird.
Okay, I see where you were coming from. I will say Ahriman already has one of the coolest, if dumbest, helmets in the setting. I was trying to figure out what his face looks like.
Let me have this helmet.
So
the sword is very easily guided straight down towards the top of my head.
But his helmet is so closely molded to his face. Can you not tell, Ewan?
I love it. It's such a dumbass design, but it's so good. Oh, I guess even dumber. There's even more places you can put swords, and they just magically go towards the head. It's like boob armor.
I mean, to be fair, you generally don't get close to Ahriman.
Doombolt.
He does be like. Do you remember what you used 2 Doombolts in Black Crusade, Ollie? Do you remember how well they worked?
I remember using bolts of change. Doombolt.
Doombolt is the Bolt of Change's younger, worse little brother. Sorry, Bolt of Change. Okay, he doesn't fart out Bolt of Change at the moment, but certainly post-heresy, Tzeentch and Ahriman really fucking farts out the Bolts of Change.
I remember them going exceedingly well.
Yeah. You spawned a structure kaiju chaos spawn thing.
Shall we continue?
Yes.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
While we're on tour, this is on subject. Can I keep an eye out for any runes similar to the ones that I've seen and researched in my demonic? Not that I know it's demonic. Grimoire.
Yeah, roll me stealth over perception, please.
Stealth over perception, okay. A bonus of stealth at all? Oh, it's not stealth, is it? It's something else.
Agility, you're probably thinking of, which you don't get here.
No, stealth. Stealth isn't a thing.
You got silent.
That's the one.
Damn it! Why'd they?
It's just straight trained, so it's fine. It's basic and then it's trained. But okay. So trained, no bonuses. So just over. What was it? Sorry.
Perception.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna put a fight towards this for +10.
Okie dokie.
Oh, didn't need it. That's gonna be brain. I hate doing these. So 2 successos with the plus.
2 successes. So, as Ahriman begins to take the 2 of you through the ship, showing you the training rooms, the many, many librarians, the armories, the hangar decks, all the assorted, strange and wonderful psychic paraphernalia of the Thousand Suns.
Nick's going to join us, called 1001 Suns.
You keep an eye out for psychoactive runes. You notice Ahriman paying close attention to you, but you're able to disguise your specific interests as feigned interest in more or less everything. Because as you wander through these halls, the amount of runes, some of them similar, some of them very much not, you find hidden, carved into slight locations throughout the ship, or engraved into massive, meter-high lines, is simply stupendous. So much of this ship is psychoactive or psychically warded. It is a veritable flying treasure trove of arcana.
and lore.
They got any Castellax Achaia?
Talk to them about the goo.
Let's not mention the fucking goo.
Just don't mention the 41 years you spent with it as a best friend.
The fact that they're known for their psychic stuff and they've warded their thing, like I've tracked this thing and it's reacted, implies that the goop is bad, 100%. There's no question about it now.
So aside from that, I'll try and bring up ship souvenirs for on the tour.
Yeah, look around for Castellax Achaia.
Anything Legion specific we might be able to do a swap for? I have one of our Legion chain swords, my very own. That on the other ship did a duel for one. I don't know if you have any other Legion traditions. No, I brought my chainsword.
I was about to say. Oh, wait, you brought your chainsword?
On a weapon.
The thing that young Nicholas has been smearing with fucking demon
that's the axe. That's the axe that's been smeared. Which I still need to get back.
I don't have any of my blackstone on me, or no goop. I'm good.
We have a long talk. Coatlmox when we get back.
Yeah, what type of thing are you angling for from the Thousand Suns?
Nothing specific, really. I just want a neat souvenir. Whether they've got a Legion-specific design chainsword or pistol or any sort of basic equipment for them.
Let's have a look. Thousand Suns war gear.
Oh, do I spot any swords similar to the one that I lost?
They're not going to give you a force sword, but
no, I know.
Actually, you do note that there's quite a large number of force weapons on display in various places. You even see people training with them.
Jesus Christ!
Sorry, I'm just looking for through the list of shit what they've got.
It's mostly psychic stuff. I don't think you could use any of it.
Well, you lot couldn't.
Neither could you without outing yourself.
Well,
I'd just keep it as a neat souvenir and never let you touch it.
It depends how good the souvenir is. If I suddenly see something really good, like, guys, I'm a fucking psycho, let me have this shit.
Yeah, they've got a psychic control matrix for their robots, and it's mostly you can buy psychic powers is their big deal.
Wow, okay.
They've also got asphyx shells, which I'm pretty sure are psychic again. Castellax Achaia, which is the aforementioned psychic control matrix thing.
They're definitely not going to give you psychic robots, not as a souvenir, not just for asking.
They haven't really got anything that isn't psychic.
I'm just having a look. I think I've got something for you. Roleplay amongst yourselves for a moment.
I am so fucking high right now.
Meanwhile, back at the plot. No weed empty.
Oh, this is...
Oh, this is an opportunity. If only we could have communicated that the Primarch was looking to get drunk on our way back at last check. Could have bridged the connection for you getting the Primarch high.
Oh my god.
You can't tell us he's got that. It's been prescribed.
No, I've prescribed it to him because I'm his doctor.
That's
I
not
know
what
it's
that means, and
proscribed,
you know it.
and yeah, I know that. That's why
Eye twitching.
It's the type of thing you'd find in a fucking in the radical list in a Ordo Hereticus splat book. It says, here, stemming from the lost days of the Horus Heresy, created by a mad chief apothecary of an unknown legion. This immensely powerful trank is said to be capable of paralyzing even a Primarch, though surely not. Meanwhile,
who would create such a thing?
Back during the Great Crusade, blasting it out of literal fire hoses, drinking it up. Okay. So I don't have stats for this for you, Cread, but what I am going to give you is, as you sort of, you know what, let's make you roll for it, actually. Let's see how are you going to try and charm Ahriman into, I guess, being on your side, or otherwise wanting to give you a gift, as he seems somewhat more interested in Nazeem.
Yeah, I figure he's probably not the dueling type. I could fail horribly at a game of 40k chess.
Regicide?
Regicide. Would you want to play me a Regicide for it?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Having a speedy double check.
I mean, they seem like the nerdy type that would have their own, like, custom Legion regicide set.
Not for sure. Just, he's less of a chess person and more of a, like, prove your worth as an intellectual person.
Oh. How would we do that?
You have to show that you're a forward or free thinker, or otherwise at the edge of some form of thought.
Uh-oh.
Is someone call?
I'm still on call.
No, I was saying, did someone call Nazeem?
Oh, I see. Well, you are there.
I don't really want to talk about that way.
Yeah, I don't think it's wise to try to probe for the sort of information Nazeem wants.
I'll try a neat charm.
Yeah, alright, we'll give you a charm at -20, because you have nothing interesting to talk about.
That's a 14 or under?
I believe. That's a lot of degrees of failure. Yeah, he's a polite host, but he does think you're deeply boring.
Oh, God.
Really nothing of interest to say.
Realising this, I know that Coatlmox likes to trade things, and also I like to have... I like Coatlmox anyway. I also want him to make me a Force Sword at some point, and other bits and bobs. And seeing that he's really trying here, but he's clearly failing to engage in conversation, can I try to engage in useful, interesting conversation with him and try to facilitate this trade?
Same rules as Cread. What is the interesting thing that you're going to use to entice Ahriman into respecting you?
Well, I know what their legion's like, and Psychos is a forbidden law, but it's known about.
Here, very much so.
Yeah, and they're obviously interested in it, so maybe trading information that I have found within battles and fighting and other bits of research that aren't so like, this is super forbidden, how the fuck do you know this? But
maybe
enough.
You can trade information on Blackstone.
Yes, Blackstone as well, actually.
I'd probably be interested to know about that.
But some like the interactions that I found between the two, and so forth. Yes, but like maybe like spice it a little bit with bits of information that I say I've found on the battlefield and so forth when doing such things, but they're more of a personal thing as well.
You can do the highest out of Forbidden Law Demonology and Forbidden Law Psychic at a -30.
Fair enough.
The difficulty here, not necessarily... Well, partially it's in the social stuff of how do you bring this up and how to do so delicately in a way that doesn't out yourself, especially in front of Coatlmox. Partially, it is also about you coming up with stuff that is actually interesting to Ahriman. He is already very much an expert, so... A lot of what has been like carefully pieced together knowledge for you is part of his already wide-ranging framework. I see to let the cat out. If you roll, I'll be right back.
Yep.
That's why I said you should have led with Blackstone. Probably hasn't come across that very much.
Yeah, anything else I may have that help me here? I think there's anything. No, okay.
The red, don't talk about his nicknames.
I'm going to use effect point for +10. Everyone here heard that, so I'll roll.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know what you're rolling at.
So it's
the -30, yeah.
Yeah. So it's -30, so it's a -20 now. Just so you know, I'm spending a fate for +10.
Yeah, we all heard it.
How do we do?
Badly.
Yes, I'm going to fate reroll that.
You can't. You spend a fate.
No, you can. You can use it to re-roll. Once
You really can't if you read the rules.
Oh, you can read the rules.
Yeah, we went through this.
You can.
Yeah.
But you don't get the plus 10 again.
Deathwatch.
Do you not get the plus 10 again?
Yeah, you only get it on the first one.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Big point.
Oh, it could be so much worse.
But it could be so much better.
You could get a 1 and get Peer Ahriman. The best friends.
Get 100. Get enemy Ahriman.
Well, you know, mate.
Fine. Fight him like a man with Doombolt.
Ah! Same degrees of failure.
Exactly the same degrees of failure. Tzeentch says no.
There's something very funny about this. The re-roll to a 51, I quite like it.
So that's 2 degrees of failure.
Okay. Yeah, Ahriman makes polite conversation with you, and you get the feeling that he learns a lot more about you than about the things you talk about. He does, however, describe to you a number of interesting concepts, chiefly relating to you the idea of the Empyrene as something that he refers to as the Great Ocean. A strange place. A dangerous place. But not necessarily a place that should be as taboo or forbidden as much of the rest of the Imperium is currently making it out to be. There are strange and dangerous xenoforms that lurk deep within its depths, but also smaller, more benign or helpful ones that can, with effort, be managed and contained safely.
Okay, guys, just keep it going. This is going to be the best joke when it ends.
I can hear all this, right?
Yes, you are there.
Alright.
With proof.
Good lord. That's, okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So.
Actually, in fact, what do they call them? Is it equerries they call them? Or do they have some other name for them?
Familiars?
They might call them something other than familiar. Tutelaries.
Fucking hell. Thousand Sons. Why are you like this?
Yeah, so there's a good deal of these bound tutelaries all around the ship at the moment. Okay, sorry, I find this really funny. If you look them up on Lexicanum, you can see that the fucking image for a tutelary is just straight up a fucking disc of Tzeentch, but like a tiny MMO pet-sized one.
It's a baby.
My God.
They're playing Pokemon with discs of Tzeentch.
They are.
It's a straight up fucking demon. What the fuck?
That is what tutelaries are. Okay, so the reason Benji was laughing is essentially the Thousand Sons have a shit ton of bound demons at the moment, and they keep telling people, no, they're totally safe, see, they're not doing anything, because Chaos is on...
They're helpful beings.
Yeah.
They're clearly helpful beings. They help us. They clean our bolters.
So... Chaos is on best behavior mode throughout the Great Crusade, and no one takes this more seriously than Tzeentch, who has a load of minor demons on best behavior mode, helping out the Thousand Sons as part of a long con in order to get more demons into the Thousand Sons and fuck with them. And then they all go fucking wild during the burning of Prospero because the mask is dropped and they can be fucking demons again.
And the way I always had it described was, guys, it's going to be the best joke when it comes off, I swear to God.
Exactly so. Make of that what you will.
Here I am, just like, face thing bad, just bad, and then they're like, oh yeah, no, we've got pets! I was like...
Did he mention his tutors?
Yeah, no, he's, Ahriman's telling you all about the benefits of tutelaries.
Do you have these creatures on the ship? Would we be able to see one?
It is difficult to perceive them. His eyes flick over something without the sight. But I can gesture, he points nearby, to where my tutelary lurks even now.
They are among us now, are they?
Well, they exist in the Emperine, but they watch us. In battle, this can be useful for information gathering.
I see.
Can I look at where he gestured?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything?
Signy roll.
Cool. Let's see how this goes. Perception, right?
Mm-hmm. We'll give you a +10. Why not?
Oh, you're so kind, thank you. That is 4 successes.
You see the shimmering outline of an angelic, cherubic face.
How does it compare to the goop face?
It's not made of goop.
That's a fair point.
It's more of, you know when you open your eyes after screwing them shut for a little bit too long, and you see the sort of floating colours for an instant?
Yeah.
If you imagine the constant perception of that, colour on the edge of fading from reality, forming the outline of an almost, but not entirely, human form. Not like it's abhuman in any particular respect, more like it has subtly off proportions that throw it into the uncanny valley.
I have to memorise that shape as best as possible.
It's slimy, difficult to keep in your memory. You know what you saw, but describing it would prove difficult after the fact. Ahriman slides between you and it. I would not advise looking at them for too long. It can be difficult.
Can't see. No, I'm not going to try bullshit. I'm just going to shake my head and go away.
Regardless of whether you can see them or not, I can assure you they're there. Would you care for a demonstration?
Demonstration of?
Well, I could give you something utilitarian, or I could give you something more whimsical.
Whimsical, whimsical, whimsical.
I must say I'd go for whimsical myself.
Ahriman nods, smiling, and clicks his fingers.
Sebastian!
I tell Seb no.
No, he's talking to his tutelary.
Yeah, but I was assuming my Seb would also respond, so that's no.
Images of talking crab.
And a moment later, a small coin falls out from behind. Well, okay, your ears are burnt and fused as all shit. So a small coin falls out from behind Nazeem's ear.
Hey.
Everything's better where there's heresy.
Fascinating.
Popping off the end of his forearm and flicking effortlessly into Ahriman's outstretched hand. He holds the coin up and then gently palms it. It disappears into nothingness. A simple illusion, but it serves to show you that they're there.
Fascinating.
Much more reliable than a serf for cleaning your armor, able to do information gathering, and of course, help with matters of Emperine focus. Plumbing the depths.
Terrifying.
Sorry?
God's also terrifying.
Plumbing the depths of the great ocean is always better with a small comrade in tow.
That's actually truly fascinating.
Where? On the ship.
That you say an illusion. Was it merely an image, or were we able to physically hold that coin?
His brow creases.
It's generally better if it's an image. One does not dredge things up from the ocean without being required. Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do something.
Noting everything in memory. Just furious mental notes going on.
You arrive at a small set of rooms.
If you would care to be dropped off, Cousin Coatlmox, I think you'll find that the 1,000 Suns in this chamber would be most agreeable to you. He gestures.
I'll go in the child's playroom with the other non-psychers.
Not quite, actually. He gestures at a large room with a... God, you're going to have to forgive me. I don't know their sigils super well, so I'm just going to make this up. A burning, flaming eye inlaid over the top of it. These are where the Marines of the Cult of Pyre work. They are also psychers, but they specialize in pyrokinetic abilities, generating and controlling fire. Most of our techmarines.
I don't think they've got eyes. I think they have a peacock symbol.
You know what? The symbol of Pyro is that of a scarlet phoenix.
Oh. That's the one.
I'd actually prefer a peacock, if I'm honest.
One of them's called the peacock. Oh, the Pavonia, the peacocks, yeah.
Okay, so we will... okay, so it's the Scarlet Phoenix. Right, yes, sorry. So, this is the Cult of Pyre. Many of our tech marines operate here.
Oh, I see.
I think you'll find them more stimulating company than myself.
Well, I shall go and visit them, but do not worry. You've been very interesting company indeed, good friend. I only hope I've not bored you too much myself.
No, not at all. His mask cracks for the barest microsecond. The two remaining Marines walk on in silence for another few minutes before Ahriman offhandedly says to Nazeem, "So when did your powers first manifest?"
Is it just me and him now?
Just you and him, wandering through what now seem like an alarmingly empty series of corridors.
Okay. Nick would like to state, at this point, I am petrified of being alone with 1,000 Suns. Nazeem feels uncomfortable that these are his brothers. So before anyone starts saying anything... Cousins.
Double check here, Nicholas. Do you know what a rubric marine is?
It rings a bell.
They don't have them
yet. I know they don't have them yet. I'm just curious. You know what? That's cool. I'm happy with the lack of meta here. It's beautiful.
Yes. I just wanted to put that before it's like, it's Nick being Nick. It's like, Nazeem, just trusting in cousins.
Yeah. Trust your cousins. So, the question is asked.
Nick has to think that one the fuck did they start, because Nick backstory. I do have a backstory. I'm sure I wrote a little bit of backstory. I even have a planet.
Planet, you're Terran. We're all Terran.
You are all Terran.
Yes.
Your planet is literally the default planet for humanity.
No, that's it. Actually, it's once I joined they started manifesting. Actually, I believe that was the whole thing, wasn't it? I wasn't too sure of them, and I slowly crept in. That's it. Shortly after, what did we start off as? Initiates.
Novitiates. Neophytes, first of all, in fact, actually.
Neophytes.
Initiates.
Shortly after. What's rank after that? Because we didn't start as Neophytes, did we? Our first level was...
You were initiates in the first... round. In fact, you weren't even an initiate. You were a brother sergeant in the first campaign.
Oh, okay. Round. So just before I was initiate, then?
No, just after.
Just after. Sorry, just wanted to make sure that was right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just before becoming an initiate.
Just before becoming a brother sergeant. So sometime after joining the Legion, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Ahriman nods. The gene seed awakens even the barest shred of psychic talent within 1,000 Suns. I am unsurprised to hear that this may have been the case for you also. Are there many like you in the second?
We are very well hidden.
Ahriman shakes his head. You need not fear the great ocean. It is natural like anything else. And though it is dangerous, it can be controlled.
I fear there are things in it far more deceptive than we believe. Long-term friends can become uneasy adversaries.
Ahriman shrugs. They're just Xenos, brother. Cousin. You put too much stock in their intelligence. We are humans. We are Astartes. We can outthink anything they can throw at us.
An underestimated enemy, close at heart, can be one of the most dangerous things.
Ahriman offers you a kind smile. You fear it. You fear your own talents.
I do not fear my talents. I fear those things that would take advantage of them.
Ahriman rounds on you. If you don't fear them, then why haven't you told anyone?
In the past, I have been fearful. But I am a cautious one, be it from my father's gene seed or a natural disposition within our legion. My brothers, I trust them with my life, of course. And I am in the process of speaking to them. It's just, I like to do things on my terms.
Ahriman shakes his head and continues walking.
It's been almost half a century.
Yes, it has. It's been a slow awakening for myself, and understanding. I do not wish to put my brothers in danger. I'm fully aware that yourself and your legion are fully accepting of these powers, and as am I, but the unknown is so vast that I just want to make sure that all holes are covered.
Ahriman goes to put a comforting arm around your shoulder. Cousin, we bring the light of imperial truth to every world we touch. Can we not bring it to the great ocean also? Ignorance is banished by talking about it. If you want knowledge, you have only to ask, and my legion will share it gladly. He shrugs. What? But we can't share if you don't ask.
What would you ask in return?
He removes his arm from your shoulder. This isn't a transaction. It's an offer of help and support. You seem like you're hiding. I would see you come into the light.
I would wish to speak to my father before progressing with anything.
He nods. Consider my offer. In the meanwhile, let me show you some of our more active trading moves. And so Ahriman takes you off to see where the Thousand Sons develop, train, and use their psychic powers.
Furious mind notes are being taken. Especially on precautionary measures and so forth that they may have around Nazeem's, the forefront of Nazeem's mind when it comes to these things is safety, believe it or not. Despite the wooden bowl incident.
There is so much to take in. And
I'm not expecting to remember all of it, though.
You're lacking so much context. This is very kid in a psychic candy shop type of a situation.
Yeah. I try to get, big picture. clear things that are repeated and so forth.
Your big picture is of the exact opposite organization to you. Everyone in their legion who's psychic is open about it. It's cultivated and worked into the foundations of really everything. And everyone is doing their level best to improve their psychic talents. In your legion, officially there are no psychers, and those that are in an organization where they actually keep it secret even from each other, with only you knowing that the people in that organization are psychic.
I hadn't realised they made them keep it secret from each other as well. Okay.
Remember, that was how that worked, yes.
Oops.
Because you didn't tell them you were psychic, and you didn't tell them that's why they were being recruited into the Psychologian. So...
no, you're right, it didn't.
The psychiatrists are all psychic, but none of them realise that all of the other psychiatrists are also psychic.
Yes. Me in sticky situations.
Yep. I'm sure it pleases Zinch, at least.
Laughing away at a bit of shit.
Meanwhile, Coatlmox. You've been entrusted to the Cult of the Pyre for the duration of the duration of the visit.
There you go. Not fussed about doing anything too specific here. I'll have a chat with some of the techmarines. Have we got anything interesting going on? Stare at some pretty flames for a bit.
Yeah, they're mostly developing, weird interlinked sci-tech weaponry of various kinds. Most notably, I don't know if they'd actually have them at this point, but we'll say there's a prototype one around. Etherfire. A combination plasma psychic weapon that uses both. Comes in all major size variants.
That was amazing. Only I could operate such a thing.
I think you can.
It's got the Force keyword, so presumably you could use it like a regular plasma gun, it just wouldn't, do special burnies. No, technically I suppose there's not the Force keyword, it's got the Soul Blaze keyword, which is different.
Yeah, I think
although it's useless as shit, it doesn't do anything.
I don't have the books they're in, but as far as I can see,
they're not in the new books. They're in the old books.
Yeah, it looks like they're not. You need to be a psyker to use them. It looks like they're just made by psykers.
Nick was also made by psykers.
What would I have to arrange to trade for that? Or like a pistol variant?
Alright, let's write in a new Thousand Sons character right here and now, and he shall be called Egyptian name.
Egyptian name, eh?
We're not literally called Egyptian name.
Yeah, that's Magnus' old ship is called the Tlaloc.
That's not Egyptian. That's not even slightly Egyptian.
No, it's not. That's what it's called.
Well, we're keeping the Mesoamericans with you. I'm going to call this guy Cameraire Nepti. Which is, I think, technically a female name, but also who gives a shit?
My immersion!
Oh no! I'm messing up the gendered names of my ancient Egyptian space marines.
He said, non-convincingly.
Just don't tell Sophie, Ollie.
This is recorded. Sophie will see this.
Sophie does not listen to the Tuesday. Do you listen to the Wednesday group recordings?
No. I'm going to take a snippet and send it to her.
Of course we don't.
Exactly.
You have to listen to both of them being made in real time.
It's true.
Not being made. You're part of that.
I am part of the problem. I also could be the potential solution by choosing it.
So, Cameraire Nepti scratches at a stubbly beard. What voice do we want to give him?
Oh, this is the perfect opportunity, because he's never come up again, The old dark elf voice.
That's the
Mechanicum have dark elf.
Okay,
No, the proper one.
You know the meme of Fativan, of the dog? Whatever voice that sort of brings up inside of
you. You know what? He is a strange to us. He's a strange inventor, lumbering in the bowels of the ship. Clearly, he is Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
Or he's old Greg.
Okay.
Small Greg.
Okay, I'll try, but it's not going to go well. Sorry, I'm trying to get into character mentally. Cheese, Coatlmox! Well...
You really can't do a Yorkshire accent, can you?
I'm not even trying a Yorkshire accent at this point. I'm trying to get the emotion of Wallace. But no, I can't do a Yorkshire accent.
Boundless enthusiasm, only limited by, not physics, but by his dog.
Well, sorry, this is just my Mal voice.
Which is one of boundless enthusiasm.
Well, Coatlmox, I think I'd like to see if you can beat me in Mechadendrite arm wrestling. No, we can't do this voice. It's terrible. It's deeply atrocious.
It's fighting towards what's his name from IT Crowd? Is it
Moss?
No, Moss. It's fighting towards Moss.
That's depressed goth. That's nothing like the voice he was just doing.
It's floating towards.
No, Moss is...
Moss is, yeah,
Richard Ayoade.
Yeah.
Well.
That's your Ulfric Stormcloak voice.
Alright, sure. Thousand Suns talk like Ulfric Stormcloak. It's canon.
Fine by me.
Well. Coatlmox. I think you'd have to beat me in some great challenge of strength.
Oh.
He pulls up a hammer. I want you to throw this farther than I can without using your hands.
You can't throw it normally. You have augments, they're not yours.
Technically, yeah, they're not his hands.
I'm like, do these count?
Such a robotic arm.
He puts his Camerlane Nebty puts his hands on his hips.
What do you think?
I suppose probably not. Has Seb got my rig with him?
What, just like loaded into the back of his sort of Crushinator dump truck?
You're fine.
I used to carry my Servitor rig when I didn't have it right. So I just don't have any servo arms otherwise. Right?
Yeah, I don't think you have any servo arms on you at the moment.
I'm trying to use my feet, my teeth.
Okay, go on. Well, which are we using?
God. The other option is...
Unless you have like a counter proposal, you might be able to.
How heavy is Seb?
How heavy is Seb? He probably weighs more than you do at this point.
Yeah.
Hasn't he got tanks for legs?
He does. Yeah, he's more. Yeah. He's more vehicle than man.
When Ewan said the Crushinator, he was not joking.
Basically, imagine the Crushinator got lodged in a teleporter accident with a Custodes. That's the aesthetic we've lodged him with.
Love it.
Unless anyone else has an alternate test of strength they'd like to propose.
What, a different test or a different way of doing this one?
Either or.
You could kick it.
Thinking about that, but kicking a hammer feels like it might fuck my foot.
It would be deeply funny if everyone else came to pick you up and you just click. busted your toes up.
How badly do you want it? And are they actually your feet? Can you just get them replaced?
I mean, no, I'm all mechanical.
Exactly.
Well,
so
I don't have any mechadendrites. I feel like this is a loaded challenge here.
Yeah, well, because they know you're not an awakened psycho, so of course it is.
Oh yeah, they can also wizard.
Yes, they're
Let
just
him
going to
throw
mind
first,
it.
then I'll decide how I go throw mine.
Okay. Of course, if you insist. And with that, Camera Nebty just fucking... I was gonna go belts it with his foot, but no, I think he's gonna huck it with his mind powers. 2, 1, hook! That is not a good hook, honestly. I've
got an idea.
Exactly what he deserves, cheating bastard.
For my turn, I'm going to find an adjustable wrench, put it round the handle, and then just hammer throw it from the wrench.
He said without using your arms, not without touching it.
No, he said without using his hands.
Yeah,
okay, without his hands to pick up the hammer, wasn't it? Or something like that?
Yeah, without using your hands, not without touching the hammer.
Take your hands off.
Wait,
take your hands off and attach the wrench to your arm.
Hold on. Do we not have mag boots? Magnetize it to your boot and
not an
just
armor or anything, right?
Oh fuck! No, you're not.
That's true.
Order someone else to do it.
Fuck it, I'll just kick it full pelt.
Yeah,
While it's in the air, I'll try and snipe it with my balefly to send it further.
Pick it up in the air and just drop kick it full force.
Okay, man. You know what? We'll take it as 2 separate rolls. So let's do strength first.
100 yet. That's a pass of 1 degree.
Cool. You still get your unnatural strength bonus, don't you?
Yeah, plus 20.
Oh yeah, that'd be 2 by default, right?
Yes.
It's not the plus.
Our unnatural strength bonus.
Unnatural strength times 2, so yeah.
So it's still net 2 degrees. I was just correcting on Nicholas.
Yeah.
Cool. And then that's going to be a cool shot on a small object. So that'll be ballistic skill at minus 20.
Minus 20. Okay, 18 or up. Oh, close. I'm going to fate roll it. Although I guess failing worse will be bad. Oh dear!
As you blast your laser eyes, hitting an explosive barrel on the other side of the room, which just detonates.
Whoops!
I have so much explaining to do to fucking Magnus.
Did the hammer go further?
Well, no, unfortunately. So the hammer was actually going pretty far, but then an explosion hit at it, coming the other way, forcing the hammer back the way it came originally.
Shit. Sorry about that, old friend.
Camera Empty thumps you on the back. That was fucking hilarious. He tosses you an ether fire pistol.
Wait.
I think you've earned this. Now please
I appreciate it.
stop firing lasers in my flammable forge.
Flammable forge seems bad.
He points at the many explosive barrels labelled with danger explosion on them. Sorry?
What was this thing called? Fire stalker?
It's an ether fire pistol.
Oh, ether fire.
It's basically just a plasma pistol with psychic damage also, I guess. Benji, do you actually have the rulebook for those things?
It's in the 7th edition rulebook. I'd have to go dig it out.
I'm going to use it anytime soon.
Yeah, it's not needed now, but it would be nice to have at some point.
See if I can find it. Corals, apparent corals. Get rid of it. Oh, hang on.
Thinking very selfishly here. could be very useful in helping reconstruct my Force Sword.
Yeah, they're really not the same technology at all.
No? Ah, fuck.
Oh, Blaze. If the unit suffers one or more unsafe wounds from an attack with this special rule, it's set ablaze and continues to burn, mark the point. At the end of the turn, roll a d6 for each unit with a Soul Blaze counter on it. On a 3 or less, the flames die out. Otherwise, the unit takes a d3 strength, strength 4, AP 5 hits with the ignores cover special rules. That is really... So basically, it doesn't... it's a plasma pistol that doesn't shoot physical bullets. It shoots magic bullets. So it's not setting your body on fire, it's setting your soul on fire.
Neat.
Yeah, that doesn't sound as bad as you're making it out to be.
Well, in rules terms, it's shit.
Yeah,
it's
rules,
rubbish.
But in rules terms...
In actual fluff terms...
That's great. Here is my infinite ammo soul-burning pistol.
I think you still have to reload it, but I think you could reload it with magic, so...
Reload it with magic. I love it.
Yeah, add one good quality ether fire pistol, please. Just put brackets plasma so we remember it. Plasma plus flame, plus maybe mind bullets, I guess. Okay. That actually probably feels like a good spot to leave it for the week. That's probably about 4 minutes. 3 minutes even. Anyone have any reminders for next session? Anything they want noted down?
Note down... I say memorized. I know it's not fully memorized. Went back on ship. Note down memorized psychic stuff. Learnt psychic stuff.
Not even close to like memorize math. This is the closest equivalent I can explain to you here is a sort of Willy Wonka-esque trip through a dreamlike psycho factory.
Yeah. Note down thoughts and ideas from Thousand Suns Tour.
Well, I think we're going kind of annoyed. Those Thousand Suns are some spoopy fellas. They're just talking about wizard shit and got tutors flying.
Yeah. Anything else? Such as
planning meeting needs to go ahead.
Fair. Anything else?
Carl's getting high on his own supply.
Research. It's research. Experimenting with it, right?
There are other more mobile entities other than the... What is it? The goopy face? What do we call it?
For you, it was of goo. Mr. Bowl is my father.
I have it under my psychic power stuff, I think. The mysterious face is what we called it.
Okay, noted. Anything else?
Thousand Suns offered knowledge on psychic stuff. Just need to ask officially.
Anything else?
Talk to father about psychic shit.
Here's hoping he's as kind and accepting as Ahriman seems to be.
Yeah, well, he's got a good. It seems to. Also, his demeanor is after his long chat with Magnus, but he seems to get on with Magnus. So hopefully.
Anything else?
Thousand Suns ship covered in psychic wards.
Amongst other things.
Yes, as well as psychic beasties. Yeah. Psychic/demonic wards, I will say as well, actually. Actually, wait, I don't know it's a demon book, so I can't say demon.
You have Forbidden Law Demon, and it's a weird creature of the Emperor. You can probably make an educated guess.
You wouldn't call them demons, to be fair.
Demons.
Even the Thousand Suns aren't calling them demons. They're Warp Xenos is...
Imperials.
Yeah, Warp Xenos.
Or yeah, Emperine, Xenos. Yeah. Any other reminders for next session? Okay. In that case, feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of, noted down next time.
I like talking about psychery things in character.
That. I will try and listen to at least the first 1,000 Suns book before next session, yeah, Nicholas.
Okay, thank you very much. It's appreciated.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of lodged deep in the Assassinorum book at the moment.
It's fine. Just didn't want to out myself too early, and now I think it's getting towards the end of, you can out yourself now, it's okay. It's just...
If anything, I think the issue you might have is outing yourself will be difficult now.
Yes.
But it's also okay not to do it for the record. Please don't take Ahriman badgering you in character as, yeah, you definitely have to do this.
No, I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've been trying to find out the way to do it.
You're waiting for me to become legionmaster. It's alright, Nick. You don't have to lie.
It does help, I'm not gonna lie. Like, love Benji and so forth, but I feel that your character's detriment is be slightly better towards psychers.
He does have one punishment for most things, does Benji, and it's usually some form of drowning.
Yes.
Excuse me, I haven't drowned a single person in this entire campaign. And I think you'll find I've had them skinned.
I admire your restraint at not having anyone drown, but yeah, right. I feel like
some form of death.
I'm sorry, the pilot of the night is not dead.
You have regularly threatened to, give off information that would get us killed. I don't know who told the custodies that you were the one who tranked a fucking Primarch and then made spook juice out of it. Oh no.
Any other feedback?
Don't be wanting to give it out. That's me saying we should not let this get out or we will all die.
There was the one incident with Uncle Wolf, but I will say I think he was following his conscience there, so he shouldn't be criticised for it.
No, yeah.
Any other feedback? Cool. I know I wasn't super on top of keeping us on track this session. It's mostly because it's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, with no sesh, so I'm in a weird, out of my groove headspace. I'll hopefully be a bit more on point next week. And I also know the 1,000 Suns. I feel like I haven't characterized them super well this time. I had high hopes for my Magnus impression that I just waffled on, and it did not go super well. So I'll try and have them in a better position for next week.
You don't have to do the voice. It's fine.
No, but I want Magnus to have a distinct voice. I like Magnus. I like his dumb idiot arrogance and the way he fucks up everything he touches. He's like if the dog from the This Is Fine memes had a smile on his face, because he thought it actually would be fine, even though it demonstrably never would be.
I actually can't tell if you're talking about me or Magnus right now.
There's a certain...
Shouldn't that terrify you? Shouldn't that be a moment of self-reflection?
I'm actually... Ollie, you know how you introduced me as the smartest dumb person you know? Or the dumbest smart person you know? Just introduce me as the actual Magnus from now on.
That would imply other people got the reference.
If they get the reference. If Magnus was actually a person.
My friend, Magnus the Nicholas.
No, you're not the dumbest. You're not the smartest dumb person. You're the dumbest smart person I know.
That's the one.
There's a world of difference between the two.
Yes, it is.
But yes, I will try and have things a little bit more concrete next time. Questions? Anything anyone was narratively unsure of this session? Is everyone following the plot?
Fuck, there was something. Brain. It was lore related. God damn it. No, it's gone.
Thousand Sun related or Octopus Cavalry related?
1,000 Sun related, I think, or at least just general psychic related.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, no.
You have actually reminded me. Could we get Octopus Cavalry? to remind us.
Oh yeah, Octopus Cavalry.
I don't know, thingy questions. Is this like just big and blatantly and openly against the Imperial Creed, all this stuff?
Which bit?
Yeah, all the tutors and psychers everywhere.
You're not supposed to be this free about psychers at the moment, but technically it's a bit of a grey area where they shouldn't be doing it, but Magnus is signing off on it, and Magnus, as a primarch, has broad powers to sign off on shit, so it's...
It definitely seemed pretty whack to me, right?
The Emperor's word for us is to destroy all hostile xenoforms, witches, and other things that could threaten humanity. Psychers would fall under that purview, however, we are not signed off to destroy other Astartes, and the Primarchs have broad remit to basically do whatever they want. So, yes, and also no.
Exactly.
I mean, Biggie would probably mega ultra insta-kill blam the entire Thousand Sons Legion if he found out about the Tutelaries. I think they just don't tell him.
But they've told us. They clearly either trust us about them,
yeah, but we don't know what they are.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Big Papa E, Mr. Anti-Chaos, would instantly just go, what?
That's chaos, no.
Well, it's the, you're doing fucking what? Oh, yeah. It's Sebastian. He's my little pet. Malcador, I'm going to need a new legion.
Call him Little Sebastian.
Like, on the note of Malcador, we do seem to encounter, like, top-level characters quite often. We just need to casually bring up the subject, like, in their vicinity, and hope they overhear it, right?
Apparently only one of us knows about it. I think only one of us knows about it, isn't it?
No, me and Creed.
Yeah. Oh, I suppose Creed knows about it.
Yeah, I heard about the tutors.
But the two who know, one of them has a real vested interest in not bringing up these psychers need to be purged as a topic. And the other one
doesn't really have context.
Has been aiding and abetting the one who's been keeping his psychery stuff secret. So,
might put a third reason out there. Any water cooler chat where, Big M is, Malcador is just around the corner. That sounds like a terrifying office to work in, and none of us are ever going to be there.
Yeah, that is very true. Like, Malcador's day job is the Grand Master of Assassins, so... Well, I guess his day job is Master of the Administratum, but his night job is Grand Master of the Assassins.
There's a good chance that water cooler is poisoned in 18 different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, Venenum are like the least arseholey ones. And Venenum are still arseholes. But yes, so as Benji says, more or less, it would seem extremely whack to you, but it's also like, well, Magnus is rubber stamping it, and Magnus is allowed to do that, but is he abusing his power, basically?
Do you remember how much legal loopholes we had to jump through so I could deploy Interlegion consoles, and that was when the enemies were openly attacking us? Yeah, like, we wouldn't be able to get clearance for, like, even if this was sort of prescribed, we'd have to go through so many hoops to get them, dealt with that we'd never...
Is there not a slight... Only a slight difference in that that's a Legion commander trying to get it done, whereas when if a Primarch says get it done, there's possibly a few less holes to jump through.
Yes, but our Primarch is very passive and doesn't really like...
Yes.
Just to clarify, is anyone actually suggesting we try to do this?
No. I think it's just a...
No, definitely not. A bad idea.
A general thing of just like, is this allowed? Are we going to get into trouble? Possibly, maybe, no, probably.
A regular trouble check.
Yeah, basically.
This is probably one of the more benign forms of trouble you've encountered, really.
In fact, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure in fact, I'm not entirely sure who'd be in more trouble if Big E turned up again and knew everything anyway. Because whilst they are summoning demons, but they don't know they're demons. Whereas young Nicholas openly, bound a demon with a book called The Big Book of Demons.
I don't know. He doesn't know it's a demon. In fact, he still doesn't even believe it's a demon. And the book he couldn't even read. It gave him a series of instructions he understood instinctually in his dreams.
It's not better. Also, Carl is running around with prescribed chemicals.
It is very much arguably worse that the book is talking to him in his dreams and he's just building what it says. But
It's that meme. It's that meme. Old best friend was goo. New best friend is dream.
I'm trying to think of the Patrick Stewart in American Dad. It's just this tiny little cage full of goo, just going. It came to me in a dream.
I'm just going to make that meme real quick.
All right, but you best do the Photoshop. Okay, I'm calm. I'm not coughing. Fuck. What was the other thing? Someone else said something just a second ago as well.
Oh?
Yeah.
I think Carl said the thing, didn't he?
Maybe.
No, I don't say a lot of things.
Well, we'll spin on.
That's because you're muted, though, isn't it?
In that case, it's time for everyone's... no, not... in that case, let's do some XP. Plot progression. Does anyone feel like you got any plot progression this session?
Move on to the next primarch. Sorry.
No, go on.
So we moved on to the next primarch series.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, got info on Psychery stuff, and basically hey, do you want info on Psychery stuff? Just officially ask.
Fair.
We've confirmed our Primarch is not an incel. He doesn't listen to Joe Rogan.
He's fucking Mortarion is not Joe Rogan.
No, but he's the kind of guy who'd listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. He's that kind of prick.
Annoyingly true.
Yeah, and our Primarch was has spent a couple of hours talking to him, walked out and immediately put his head in his hands and tried to drink promethium.
He needed something stiff.
Yeah, but that's what I mean is, if after talking to someone who listens to the Joe Rogan podcast for several hours, you feel the need to drink promethium, you're the right kind of person.
What's it called? Would the Firehawk even be using promethium? It's void capable. Would it have a minor plasma drive?
Presumably, yeah, but what do you think we stick in the bloody, what do you think you stick in the Titan grade flamers?
I guess that's true, yeah. It's the ultimate torpedo juice.
Ultimate in chain.
I mean, he just went back to the ship and had some in secret.
Yeah.
I think I told him not to drink the promethium, so he just went back and drank some of the fucking salt water we keep the kaiju in.
No, I'm gonna ask Father in. Actually, that's maybe a thing for reminders. Ask Father what promethium actually tastes like, because I reckon he'll be fine.
I don't think he'd want to admit doing it. It might get back to Coayah.
It'll be just between us, I promise. Coayah will never know.
Drink that entire case of promethium, just so you...
You can't... Oh God, no. You can't make him empty one side of the Firebirds, but...
Oh God, no, not that much. Jesus, just a fucking mug of it. Jesus, if that.
How dare you be drinking?
Oh, Christ.
We raised you better than this.
I got you a nightcap.
I learned it from you.
So,
Father, if you want to do something, you should just do it.
I mean, I think we're all missing the obvious person to blame here, which is Carl.
Is that where he's getting it from?
Well, who else has been repeatedly abusing heavy substances? So whose roleplay is informing his actions? So, character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their character this session?
I feel like I made an executive decision as leader of the Legion commander. You know, I overrode my fellow brothers because I could.
Fair.
Coayah continues down his path of utter disdain for Primarchs.
I'm not sure how much it's done for me, but I met a Legion that's significantly more open than Psychers than every other Legion I've met so far.
Yep, same here actually. That's opened my eyes a little bit. So I was so kind of like, there's entirely possible like everyone's just going to turn on me and kill me, and then I'm here like, the entire Legion is actually Psycho, and everyone is just completely open about it. Also, my brothers have also seen this now. So it's like...
A little bit less.
I'm just waiting for Psychonariness to be a confirmed threat, then I can start being obsessed with Blackstone again full time.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I've stitched Primarchs back together. Multiple. Like, at this point, I mean, people with magic powers, okay, I guess. Like, moving on.
The multiple there is disturbingly true. Like, that technically makes you the foremost expert on medicine for Primarchs right now. Like genuinely.
Sorry, it's a great meme that's been made there.
So rather than Arcan Land being summoned to deal with Angron, it's just going to be Carl slowly popping out of a bag.
Fix his brain!
Oh, I loved it. You used that image.
Oh, of course I did.
This image of, like, just a bloodshot-eyed apothecary just like, what do you need?
I've already linked the picture of Carl's future self.
Oh, Dr. Roxo.
That's not Dr. Roxo, that's Doom Rider.
He's doing the Dr. Roxo joke in the meme thing.
But does Carl get XP from... Sorry, one sec.
Oh, artwork, yeah.
For artwork, and do I get XP for the for the meme?
I had actually just made a note of it already.
Amazing.
Yeah, you know, we should give it XP for the artwork. It's a good use of the Dali stuff. I also really enjoy that our first character to get fan art is Bowl of Goo. It cannot be taken back. Excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone else roleplayed particularly well this session?
I think Nicholas did well. With his furtive conversations of, no, I don't want to be a psyker. You can't make me be a psyker. Admit that you're a psyker.
Okay, I'm a psyker.
Don't you feel better now?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that exchange in the Firebird on the way over at the start was like... Because it was that weird sort of blend of in character, but still out of character talking, but in character, and like in a way that like you were just your characters at those moments in time.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
That was actually very good, yeah.
I liked Ollie's trying to sell the Battle Octopus theory to Father on the shipwright.
I've never been so proud of the primal finally being sensible.
I loved Coatlmox's exchange with what's her face regarding the nipple camera.
I mean, how do you know that's
all? I didn't even show up for the meeting now. Who cares?
The amount of surgery they have done on Coatlmox, who knows what the fuck's inside him?
I love that she just pulled out the drill. Like, it might just rev it a couple of times. Like, how soon do you need it?
Watching Ollie quietly keck on cam. Cool.
In some, cult mechanicum cultures, that's actually a common. That's how some people just hit on each other, I reckon.
So I make that to be a cool 210 XP for session number 44. That's 30 points of plot progression. Moving on to the next Primarch, the Olive Branch with 1,000 Suns on Psycho stuff, and your Primarch not liking Mortarion. 30 points of character development. That's Mackie developing his taste for command, Coayah disdaining Primarchs generally, and Coatlmox and Nazeem broadening their psychery horizons. 30 points excellence of roleplay. That's Nazeem's furtive conversations about being a psyker, the Firebird Promethium discussion, just generally, which we don't usually take, but I saw where Carl was coming from, and it did involve basically everyone. Mackie trying to sell battle octopuses and Coatlmox's nipple camera, plus your standard 100 general, plus 10 for the generated Ollie meme, plus 10 for Bowl of Goo.
That's one of the highest XP sessions we've had.
Yeah, a bit weird considering we didn't really do that much, but, you know.
It was definitely one of the most hilarious sessions we've had in a little while.
Well, I think we're all back from a moderately sized break. We used to be halfway through this campaign by now, it hadn't been for various delays. Which brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session. Very briefly, it's the highlights. Benji, do you have any highlights for that session?
XP. Wait, fuck.
Primarch isn't interested in Mortarion's MLM.
Fair. Anything else?
Young Nicholas comes out of the closet.
No, we're not doing that.
And not just yet.
That
Almost.
was like worryingly close to
It was worryingly close, and we skirted really close to it a few times, but I think we steered away from it sufficiently.
Creed still can't aim.
I'm a terrible shot for a spaceman.
The worst thing is it's with your eyes. You should be really good at you just have to look.
To be fair, they've probably got some sort of bonuses I'm forgetting. They're like best quality twin linked as well, so it's got at least 2.
Best quality is plus 10.
I probably should have made you roll using perception rather than ballistic skill, honestly, but I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, like just Creed can't aim.
Yeah, you have heightened senses. You get plus 10 to sight and sound tests. As a space marine, you just do.
Oh, that's a bit different, I think.
No, but so yes, you're correct, but this is an eye-mounted gun. So, I see where Ollie's coming from. It arguably should count here. Any other highlights, Benji?
Ahriman is Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, no, leave his chin alone.
He is Buzz Lightyear forever.
I'll write it down, but I'm protesting it. There's the Thousand Sun accent we should have had. Stereotypical, like, Ohio American.
Why, howdy there. My name's Ahriman. Ahriman. I am the chief librarian.
That is not an Ohio accent.
Have you...
Could you do an Ohio accent?
No, but that's not it.
I know it's not it. I can do 2 American accents. I can do evil Southern gentleman, or I can do weird cowboy.
I don't know if I would define that as being... anywho, any other highlights, Benji?
No, that's not me.
Cool. Carl, do you have any highlights?
Flashing a Primarch isn't the worst thing you've done today.
And that was the exact quote, too.
Revving drill, how soon do you need it?
Seductively. In my head, it was seductively.
Yeah.
It was not intended to be at all.
You're already revving my drill.
God damn it. Any other highlights, Carl?
Primarch contemplates drinking promethium. And
he probably
does it. Yeah.
We call it motor mead on account of it being mainly from motors.
Don't worry, Father. I know a guy.
He can get his own promethium. Presumably he keeps it in like a little stash under his cot.
His cot?
He can't tell me what to drink as he's in his room for that hour rest. Just hip flasking it.
That was what he was up there doing, guys. Away from Coayah's overbearing sight.
Drinking Floridian.
I really thought he'd get a stomach ache, and it's like, he's a Primarch. He probably doesn't know what a stomach ache is.
Promethium!
He can survive space. He can survive that. It's fine.
He can't survive it, but the idea it won't even give him a... fucking Promethium!
I say
any other highlights, Carl?
So thank you.
Young Nicholas, do you have any highlights for that session?
Ooh. They've got more spoopy wards than me.
You have...
What?
Actually, they probably have more dream books than you as well, actually, to be fair.
They've got more wards around the ship than me.
Wards, right. I thought you said they've got more spoopy water than you. And I was... If anything, you've certainly got more weird ethereal water than them. That's one thing you can outmatch the Thousand Suns on.
Is it ethereal if it's full of kraken?
It's definitely spoopy.
It's just occurred to me, if all the psychic shenanigans that's happened with like the spoop appearing and then disappearing, if any of that's actually affected the Kraken and the water it's living in.
You do keep dragging the sea monster into the warp over and over again.
Yes. Oh dear.
You didn't flush the bowl of goo away and, in essence, just have it end up with the Kraken, did you, Nick?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
You contemplated it.
Hello, my new name is Bowl of Kraken.
Yeah, I just want to feed like the little clones, like tiny little like teaspoon sizes of goo.
Oh God, no! That's not.
Hello there. Hello, is that corn? Yes, I'm going to defect.
That's the second time you've made that joke this session.
Yes, and you know why? Because that makes sense.
Any other highlights, young Nicholas?
We're talking about Magnus, not young Nick.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought
That's a highlight.
I thought that was the moment your ego finally completely shattered and you defaulted to your Magnus personality full time.
We're talking about Magnus now, bitches. And there can only be one. Uses... What was it again? Long-range telepathy. On Magnus. Take that, nerds.
Oh dear. What was that?
I am the primarch now.
Was it Coatlmox sent to the children's table?
I put him in the Magic Forge place.
yeah. Well,
the techmarine table.
And you got a gun that shoots souls.
It doesn't shoot soul, it shoots your soul.
Yeah, that's what I need.
It shoots you in the soul.
Fire.
Like,
But I got the proper tour. He got like that front of house tour. I got the full on tour.
I got the shush, you're not a psycho tour.
Yeah, exactly.
You did.
Still kind of feels like Cread got the best thing.
You did also fluff being interesting, so you were just kind of boring him whilst angling to get something out of him.
Oh,
anything else?
I think they're there, Father. my comforting him on the way back. Yeah,
That's a good speech.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with it.
A little wavery towards the end there, but especially the opening was very strong.
Oh.
Any other highlights, Nicholas?
No, that's it.
Cool. Cread, do you have any highlights for that session?
Yeah, I can't actually remember what it was at the end. The Morturbio?
Morturbio.
Morturbio, yeah. Morturbio.
That made the other one Pertarion.
I feel like Morturbio is something you hear in like a Fast and Furious movie. Give ourselves more turbio.
Stand back. I'm beginning to Morturbio.
I know. I'm more turboing over everyone.
More turboing time.
Okay, Dale. Stale memes aside. Any other highlights, Cread?
Yeah, Coayah fears no Primarch, brackets so far.
So far.
I've not made Comrade Curse yet, we'll have to give that a go.
What? Got a good 2 for 2. Blow, though. You only got a glance and blow. I managed to get a Primarch's childhood trauma involved. And then
you threw up.
You have a fucking death wish.
Yeah. And I didn't die, and I passed the second test, so there.
This is some young Nicholas style revisionism here. Actually, when you think about it, my fuck up was a grand victory.
Hey, you got to stay positive, mate.
What I'm saying is, I want to see Coayah bring up some like daddy issues or some like childhood trauma with one of the Primarchs.
I am the childhood trauma / daddy issues with the Primarch.
Oh my god! Like, I mean,
adults.
I mean, just Breaking Bad. It's like I am the childhood trauma.
Such a horrific line.
Any other highlights, Ollie?
Me?
No, the other one. Cread.
The other one.
How do I tranquilise a whale?
Oh god, I forgot about that.
First, you get a load of remotely knockoutable sheep.
I promise we'll be more on track next session. Any other highlights?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm legionmaster.
That was on the protest against the octopus.
Weird hill to die on.
I want to point it out that I was given the order to start research, but I was never told that it was vetoed by the Primarch. So
that goes for the mechanical note that was left behind.
It wasn't vetoed by him. He said, do the research you need to.
Yeah, you kept talking to me. He was like, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that part.
I mean, he did originally try to shut it down with something along the lines of, we should maybe have an idea what we would use this for before we start doing it. And then Mackie just kept talking at him. And then he went, I'm busy trying to cope with things. Just do whatever.
We discover some cool features about them that we can incorporate into our armour, our bike.
It's precedent now. Next time I want something. Yeah, man, like, we kind of, like, wear them, like, a backpack, and then the armor goes over it, right? And then you just have tentacles coming out the sides.
You know how the Thousand Suns have those little pets? We have these!
Picks up tiny
praise the octopus. Does it bear?
Yes!
And it's great, because now we've got the mind control tech. Like, so you can control their arms like Doc Ock.
Wait. Are we the actual origin of Tyranids?
No.
Work out if, like, our Primarch would
Does it just go too far?
There's, like, pet octopuses everywhere, or if he just gets severe PTSD.
Any other highlights, Creed?
Oh, more. Just the Foreshadow.
Foreshadow.
It was a good suggestion, Yannicus.
Thank you. I have them now and then.
You often have them. Less good on the follow-through. The suggestions are often interesting. Any other highlights?
That was it for me.
Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
So I only have one because Creed took one of mine and the other people. But I managed to maintain composure after throwing up in front of the Primarch.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
And I suppose, just in square brackets, the Octopus Legion shall arise. Or at least small battalion. You know what? I'll even be fine with a company.
Yeah, I do want to do more, because the original name of of the Second Legion in the fluff was the Rainbow Warriors. I'd like to do some more stuff with that, but I'm sure we can work octopuses into that theming.
Maybe they have a camouflage ability. You know.
What's octopus do?
You want to have chromatophores.
Yeah, boy. Except they...
Is it chromatophores or chromatovores?
I think it's chromatophores, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say, I couldn't hear what you said.
Chromatophores seem decidedly more likely. Chromatovores just sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Let me drink the colour from your being.
Yeah, colour eaters. I mean, you know.
Okay. Thank you all for a very entertaining session number 44. Does anyone have any final words for the recording?
So, 2 drops is death, 1 drop is okay?